Welcome to Crunch Time with Jeff, Booner, Lukas, and Michael Gentry. And boys,
here we go, boys.
Super Bowl. We're coming off the Super Bowl here, and we all got to watch it together as friends. Got to process the Lions not being in the Super Bowl. And now this is our first show removed from watching the Super Bowl. How we feeling tonight?
Feel great.
How about them Niners? I'm feeling good, though. I mean, it sucks watching that game last night, and the Detroit Lions weren't in it, but I don't know. I mean, normal Monday, but besides that, I mean, this was like the one time I truly did not care about a Super Bowl outcome. Like, I could have cared less about how this game went.
Yeah, it was still a really good game, but like Lukas said, I think everyone was thinking about the what if and how it would have been if the Lions were in that situation. But overall, Patrick Mahomes is insane, and that was a great game, great ending.
It took me like a week to get over the Lions loss, and then that since I got over it, like yesterday, it hit me again. Like we're like we should be playing in this football game right now. If I didn't have money on the game wouldn't have mattered to me at all, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
The only reason I cared about last night was because I had a lot of money on the football game. So, shout out Gentry. We were just hammering Chiefs money line.
Came through because obviously the other bets didn't. But you know what? Fall back on the Chiefs money line with Patrick Mahomes, and you're gonna make some money.
Made a lot of money on that.
They moved to plus 400 at in like what was that, the third quarter?
Yeah.
I mean, I checked that right away. Plus 400 touchdown game.
Crazy. That was correct. One possession game plus 400 is, and especially with the best quarterback in the world, the best player in the world. There's no reason no one should have. Like I think we all took it in here. Besides Lukas, went to go get it and it moved right away.
Now
it was like a glitch in the system.
You see the title of the live stream. We will be discussing the just scenario if the Lions beat the 49ers, how this Super Bowl would have played out. We'll be discussing that. We'll also be breaking down. You have to stay to the second hour though at about 9:15. We'll be doing our first ever Crunch Time mock draft, live mock draft, as in the boys. We're all a piece of Brad Holmes, and we're all gonna draft for the Lions. I think we'll do all 7. Screw it. We'll just do every pick.
All 7 rounds.
Yeah,
this is gonna be tough.
I don't know that many players.
No. The first round we'll probably sit through. After that, we'll just fast forward. We'll see who's there. You know what I mean? We'll
mock
keep
draft
it short.
Monday.
By the way, shout out to Keith. By the way, for
let's go, Keith.
We're going to be doing the live mock draft. We'll be kind of giving you guys our thoughts on if the Lions were to make the Super Bowl. Of course, we'll break down a rumor. Someone else to the NFC, a player the Lions could potentially add. That's actually on Crunch Time on our X account. You can go check that out at Official CT. We post, different rumors, things like that. And we'll be breaking down some of that specific player. I won't give it away, but later in the show. But to start off, guys, the Chiefs, they do it again. They went back-to-back. Mahomes is that guy. And we had the discussion, too, about the scenario, the potential scenario in which he wins another Super Bowl MVP, and keeps stacking those. And guys, at 28 years old, he's him. Just like ETN says, he's him. And he's on his way. He's on his way to contending Brady right there. And that's the first step, right? Just winning a Super Bowl, and he got it done, guys, against a tough team.
Yeah, he's officially right now. I was thinking about this. Like before, it was like he's chasing down to be the GOAT. And it's like, yeah, you still have to win. Like obviously, like he was on pace to do it. But you have to still go out there and put the numbers up. You still have to go out there and win football games, win Super Bowls, MVPs. It's like official. Like the Patrick Mahomes now is on. Like he is chasing, and it's like GOAT watch right now. Like that's what's happening the next 4 or 5 years with Patrick Mahomes. So it sucks because I'm a Tom Brady guy, but it is what it is, dude. They have a dynasty now, 3 Super Bowls. I wouldn't be surprised next year if they're back in the game, and the next year, as long as Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce are playing football, they're going to be in that con. And I was one of the guys, and I'm sure a lot of people in their careers the last couple of years have at some point counted the Kansas City Chiefs out. I did that before last season. This year, I learned from it last year. I said, I'm not doing that. That's why I picked them last week when we did our picks. I was like, I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes ever again in my life unless it's against the Lions. So he's officially on GOAT watch, fellas. I mean, he's on his way now. He's halfway there, and he's at 28. He's right where Tom Brady was at 28. So I'm interested. I think he ends up doing it.
in either way, we talked about it a little bit on Friday. He is the best quarterback I've ever seen with my own two eyes. No matter, obviously, Brady played great, but like the things that Mahomes is able to do, extend plays, use his feet and whatnot, throw at all these crazy angles, man. The dude is just insane. And shout out to their defense, too. Everyone was kind of talking about how the 49ers defense was going to play, their defensive line showing up. But the Chiefs defense was relentless all night, man. They had Brock Purdy pressured. It seemed like every single play. They shut down damn near all three of the weapons that the 49ers had. So shout out to them, though. And Patrick Mahomes, man, he's creeping, like Booner said, he's creeping towards that GOAT conversation.
This tweet is insane,
this
man.
This tweet, guys, like puts in, and I'll just set you up for this, Lukas. Like this tweet, I saw this by Dan Orlovsky. And we know what the Chiefs have been with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in his prime, which he's still playing really well in the playoffs. But still, they've always been an offensive team. You look at what Mahomes is doing. This defense for the Chiefs, like I would say the best secondary in the NFL. You go to their defensive line. Chris Jones is a monster. I mean, Dan Orlovsky put this out at next. The Chiefs faced the number 2, 3, and 4, and 6 offenses in the playoffs, which combined to average 28.3 points per game this season, averaged 15.8 versus Kansas City in the playoffs. Spags shaved off 12.5 points off 4 of the best offenses in the NFL. Yeah. Spags, the Chiefs are finally at a time where it's like, hey, we just need to run the ball, take care of the ball, and the defense will get the job done. And Mahomes is Mahomes, so he'll always find a way to win the game at the end of the day. That's how it seems.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Steve Spagnuolo, the fact that he's able to elevate this young defense right now, and you can kind of see that Travis Kelce is going to start falling off a little bit. Obviously, he's not just going to be terrible next year, but you can see eventually Travis Kelce is going to start to decline. So the fact that the defense is up and running, and that's going to now allow them to add additional tools. So now Mahomes can learn how to get through his reads and not rely on Kelce so much down the stretch, the development of Rashee Rice. But back to that defense, I don't think there's just a more complete defense around the NFL right now. You can say the 49ers, but then to your point, Jeff, the 49ers secondary doesn't even sniff the Chiefs. The Eagles doesn't sniff the Chiefs, and the Eagles look like they were lost at the end of the season. So without the Chiefs defense being the way that it was, without Steve Spagnuolo being the defensive coordinator, I do not think they make this run, regardless if they have Patrick Mahomes or not. I think this defense was more important down the stretch.
Yeah, and two real quick with that too with Spags is I heard Shefty say today on the Pat McAfee show as well that like he's at a point of his career. How would he say have 4? I mean, he has the most Super Bowls out of any coordinator in NFL history. So 4 or 5, whatever it is. And he like they said and Shefty said there's no way going forward that Spags is going to get a head coaching job. Like the NFL the way it is now, it's like it's just going to be tough for him to ever get that head coaching job. So he's probably going to be in Kansas City going forward for a little bit more like a good time. So they're not going to lose him anytime soon. The fact that they faced, 4 or 5 top 10 defenses in the NFL through this playoff run, and they held them down from 28 points per game to 15, that's just insane on its own. Like, that's something you don't see at all. And he went out there and did that with his defense. Because you guys remember the beginning of the year, I mean, this team struggled, but they just relied on their defense. And Spags deserves so much credit, and he's probably the best coordinator in the NFL right now. The fact that he did that, a lot of people don't give defensive coordinators credit because everyone wants to see the flashy offenses and the Ben Johnsons and all of that type of thing. But Spags might be the best coordinator in the NFL doing what he just did with that defense. It's incredible. It's incredible. I asked Lukas yesterday, I was like, has a coordinator ever gotten to the Hall of Fame for doing what he did? Spags, if not, Spags should be the first one to do that, honestly. Like, that's incredible. This run.
And if you flip it to Mahomes, and just to give him more credit, because Spags is a whole nother, and you nailed it with where he ranks in coordinators. Like, I think he's the best defensive coordinator, and we could have a debate about just coordinators in general. But Mahomes, like, look at what he has offensively. I mean, he's won Super Bowls. Like, last year was great. Like, they won without Tyreek Hill. They proved a point there that he was definitely a blessing, but he wasn't the reason. They didn't need Tyreek, but they did it this year with Rashee Rice not having the type of game that you typically see Rashee Rice have, right? Kelce, he was basically their best receiver, which you knew that, but still, like a 4-year-old Travis Kelce, like he won this Super Bowl with less than he typically has. So I think for Mahomes, it's definitely a mark on his career. But I'll tell you one thing, at least around social media, people would argue that Super Bowl hurt Kyle Shanahan's career, which, you see it floating around. And in the post-game press conferences, didn't help. I mean, you got players like Juice and Eric Armstead coming out and speaking to the podium, and they're saying how they didn't, they weren't aware of the overtime rules. And they have Chris Jones and other Chiefs players saying, yeah, we've been prepping for this since the regular season. Like, this has been a thing. We knew we'd make the playoffs, and when we did, we'd be ready for the overtime rule. Like, that's not a good look. But overall, guys, like, take it away, and I'll go last here. But just your thoughts on how Kyle Shanahan should be viewed after losing a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl.
I think everything you walked into yesterday before the game, you walked out of the game thinking the exact same thing. At least you should have, in my opinion. When it comes down to Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, I think Brock Purdy played a solid game. He by no means was bad in that game. I think he still gave them a chance against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And besides that third quarter, Shanahan really wasn't that bad. But at the end of the day, he blew another lead. So he's still a great coach, in my opinion. But this shows you, again, that he's not on Andy Reid's level. I think one day he maybe could be. But I don't know what he needs at this point. I really don't. I understand a better quarterback. Ideally, you would say that that's the weakness of the roster, quote unquote. You could say the offensive line. But it's like then you lose all that defense. You lose that receiving core. You lose Christian McCaffrey. So Shanahan, it's, again, elite coach. But it's like, what can he really do in those big moments? It makes you think.
Yeah, and obviously, like Lucas alluded to, he's 0-3, but there is some context to it. Jeff, you've always talked about it. You lose to Tom Brady once and then Mahomes twice. I still do think Shanahan's an elite quarterback, but like Lucas said, you have so many weapons on this offense. You have so many guys on this defense. You go out and you get a Chase Young at the deadline. Like, you basically had the final finish for your team, and obviously no matchup in the Super Bowl is going to be favorable and easy matchup. And it sucks that he did have to face, three of the best quarterbacks ever. But there comes a point in a certain time, you're going to have to win these games. You're going to have to be the better opponent. And like Lucas said, I don't know what else Shanahan needs at this point in time. I still do think he's a great coach, but when you're blowing leads like this, when you have games in your hand and you're just letting them loose, it's tough.
Am I up?
Take it away,
Boone.
I want to start this whole thing off by real quick as well. Kyle Shanahan is still one of the best coaches in the NFL. I don't want to take that away from him. I think he's top 5. He's one of the best there is right now. At some point, and I told you guys this before we started, at some point, if you're an elite coach and you're that kind of, like, you're supposed to be on that level with Andy Reid and some of the best of the best, at some point, you just have to win and get the job done. At some point. And I get it. You've been there for you're in the NFC Championship game, the last 5 seasons, whatever it is. You've been in the Super Bowl twice now. At some point, if you're an elite coach, like, we can keep calling him an elite coach. We can keep saying how great he is because he's a good coach. Just like Lukas and Gentry said, he's a great coach. He's one of the best in the NFL. But the players he has, everything that he has around him, if you are an elite coach, at some point you have to win these big games. That's what it comes down to. To me, that's just a fact. It's a fact at the end of the day. It's if you have that many good players on your football team and you're considered an elite football coach, like an Andy Reid type coach, those are games you have to win. And to be honest, and this is where Jeff and you and I were kind of going at it before, I don't really care if you're versing Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. I don't care who you're playing. If you're expected to be one of the best at what you do in the whole world, at some point you just have to win the thing. Like, you just can't just keep falling short. And on top of that, you have leads and you're just blowing leads. It's not like he's out there and like it's a close game the whole, like, no, you have leads in these games and you're just blowing them. At some point, it's just, hey, you have to get the job done. And I get the other side of it. Hey, he's only 9 seasons in or 7 seasons, whatever it is. And Andy Reid, and I see the stats. Oh, Andy Reid hasn't won one, and it took him 20 years. I get all of that. I get that. I'm not sitting here saying anything with that. What I'm saying is, if we're going to put you on a pedestal, like an Andy Reid pedestal, you have to win a Super Bowl to do that. You just can't keep falling short and just keep getting put on a pedestal at the end of the day. And it's crazy to me seeing, like, people still sticking up for him. Like, I get if you like him, but sticking up for him, let's just talk facts here. Let's just, what is it? He lost again and blew another lead. That's all it comes down to. Just same with Dan Campbell. He lost and blew a lead in the NFC Championship game. I still think he's one of the best in the NFL, but he's not on that level yet because he hasn't gotten the job done. And he's only 3 seasons in. But if Dan Campbell for the next 7 years keeps getting there and he just doesn't win it, I bet you half of Detroit's or 80% of Detroit's calling for his job. And I'm not calling for Shanahan's job whatsoever. He is one of the best in the NFL. I hopefully, one day he might win there. But I'm just saying is there's like these levels here. It's just like players. There's like these levels, and he's up here. but Andy Reid's up here, and you can't put him on that level until he does win one. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Okay, the last point, I'm with you. If you don't want to put him on Andy Reid's level,
that's all. That's all my point is for this whole thing.
But I swear to you, whatever God you believe in, this man has been in the league for 7 years and
he's done a great job.
Hold on. He's 8-3 in the playoffs, and he has 2 Super Bowl appearances, NFC Championship appearances. Booner, if Dan Campbell gave you that in 7 years, you'd suck him off.
Would love it, but at some point I would want a Super Bowl.
Hold on. Let me get my point out. Andy Reid has been a coach for 25 years. Jesus Christ. Look at the last 5 years. It's been different. He made a Super Bowl down in the McNabb. Of course, now with Andy Reid, he has Patrick Mahomes, who I think is the second best quarterback of all time. And I think when it's all said and done, hell, he could be number one depending on who you ask. He started having success when he got Mahomes. I'm not saying it's all because of Mahomes. What I'm saying is to win in this league, especially when you're Kyle Shanahan and you've had the quarterback disadvantage every single time you've made the Super Bowl as a head coach. And then when you were a coordinator, you had Matt Ryan, who had a great year. I'm not gonna take that away. Matt Ryan was great. Tom Brady, Mahomes twice. That's his career in the Super Bowl. Before we start throwing out, just win the big game. Win the big game. Guys, this is what did I say before the game on Friday? I said, I'm picking the Chiefs. Why? Head coach, quarterback. I don't just say that. You're going to go with the quarterback. That's how that works. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Okay.
I believe that maybe even 31 teams would take him over their current head coach.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I would stand on that.
This is where I'm at with it, though.
Stand on that.
I agree. I think me and you agree on this whole thing, and I'm with you on Shanahan. And I'm with it. Well, my thing is that people sticking up for Shanahan. When it's at the end of the day, it's dude, he did why aren't we just gonna say, hey, dude, you keep blowing leads? We're just gonna bow down and kiss his feet. Dude, you didn't get the job done at the end of the day. I get it. And then if he has, and I bet you in the next 20 years, just as long as Andy Reid's been in the NFL, I'm sure he's going to go out there eventually and get 2 or 3 or 4 Super Bowls. I have confidence. He is a great coach like that. I just can't stand the fact that there's these people who before the game were picking the 49ers and being like, it's Shanahan's year. It's his time. It's him. And then when they lose, they don't take accountability and they start making excuses. Well, Andy Reid's been doing this for 20 years. Andy Reid has Patrick. No. If you're going to put him on a pedestal before the game and you're going to say he's going to go beat the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, when they lose, take accountability, sit down and go back and say, yep, he blew another lead. He's going to be back here again, which is probably a fact. He's one of the best in the NFL, as you just said. He will be back here. But I don't care if he's in year 7 or in Andy Reid's in year 20-something. If you're going to if you're going to talk about him before and say he's going to go beat Andy Reid, take responsibility after. That's all I'm saying. I just don't like the fact that there's people sticking up for him after the fact. Yeah, dude, we know he's a really good coach. He's one of the best in the NFL, and he hasn't had the best quarterbacks, and he's gone up against the best quarterbacks. But if you're gonna be on his side before, don't make excuses after. He blew a lead at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's a fact. Am I wrong? Anyway,
no,
I feel like that's my only issue
is
that
real quick,
people aren't taking responsibility and accountability.
I'll give my rebuttal, and then if Mike and Lucas, feel free to chime in here. I think me and you, Booner, I think I know what you're saying. I think we would agree that he's not Andy Reid because Andy Reid, again, he has Mahomes. So you can't compare them. The success he's had with Mahomes is not what Shanahan's had with Brock Purdy and Jimmy G. That's fair. I will say this though, Shanahan in overtime. And me and you, Booner, talked about this.
It's brutal.
I know the whole thing about players not knowing the rules, that's a bad look. I don't want that. That's not a great look. Now, I don't mind he took the ball to start. I know you could argue he could have deferred. Then you know what you'd want. Then you know what you need. But then again, how was he supposed to know that Andy Reid actually said if the Niners scored, if they would have scored back, they would have won for 2-1. There's so many different scenarios with that. The lead thing isn't good. But Lions fans, and this, I'm gonna have to say it, 17-point lead in the NFC Championship game. It's fine, right? Just fix the defense. So you're saying you can't blow leads, right? So where's the criticism for the Lions? They blew a 17-point lead.
We gave criticism to the Detroit Lions. I think we all did and stepped up and did that and said it was an issue on Dan Campbell's spot. It was coaching in the third quarter. We have done that. Don't sit here and try and blame around. No, we did shows and we talked about how big of a deal it was Dan Campbell lost those games. Like that is a huge
Okay.
deal. It was one, and I literally said, I looked Lucas, me and Lucas actually talked in person, and I said, it felt like, or no, it was me and you, Jeff. It felt like that Falcons game, the Super Bowl. Like Dan Campbell was the reason, like, and he was the man at the head of it. And guess who was in that Falcons game too? Like, I'm not even meaning that. It just that happened to work that way. I apologize.
And it's not, and I see this comment here. Eduardo, I love you, Eduardo, by the way. He says, Jeff, don't tell me you're defending San Francisco. It's not about defending San Francisco. I think people get too, like, the Niners lose. It's like, oh, Shanahan, this Shanahan guy, like, who is he? I mean, who is this guy? It's like, let's relax. Like, Shanahan's still one of the best head coaches in the league. Like, let's get that. And again, you lost to Mahomes twice. Boo-hoo, cry about it. Like, I think Mahomes is going to go down as the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. So, like, how bad is it? Give him a 25-year sample size, and then we'll.
That's what I don't like. Like, let's not have that until the 25-year sample size.
Hold on, Booner. Like, Jeff, to Jeff's point, that's completely fair to say, and you're not putting him at that level yet. The one thing I will criticize Shanahan to death about, in my opinion, is to your point, Jeff. You know you're going up against Patrick Mahomes. You've already played him in the Super Bowl. How do you accept the ball in overtime and get the ball first? That's where it's those things where, again, I'm not saying Shanahan isn't great, but those are the things where it's like, if you're Shanahan and you receive the ball, you win the coin toss, you give Mahomes the ball first every time because he's either scoring 7 points and you know how to come up with what you're dealing with. He scores 3, so he can go down and score a touchdown, or he doesn't go down there at all. You need to react to Mahomes because if Mahomes is reacting to you, you lose every time, even if there's 13 seconds. Ask Josh Allen. In my opinion, that's the perfect comparison. I know you don't want to compare a coach to a player, but right now, Kyle Shanahan, if he were to be a player, it'd be almost Josh Allen, like, because it's just like, you're so good, you're so elite, but it's just at the timing when you need it the most, you're a little off, and it's just always against Mahomes, to your point, but it's just one of those things where it's like, he needs to queue up his big game situations way better than what it is. He's always reacting in the moment, and when you look at Spagnuolo, you look at Andy Reid, you look at Mahomes, they're just ready. They're not trying to overthink. Shanahan gets a little too cute in those moments. Because at the same time, I know I'm kind of rambling here. When you give Mahomes the ball second, you're also giving him 4 downs because if you score a field goal, they know if we don't get in field goal range, we have to go on 4th down. Once they get in field goal range, they got all the momentum. They got Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. They're scoring.
Yeah, and I think, like, you can't just say, like, boo-hoo, like, you lost to Patrick Mahomes. Like, obviously, it'll be looked upon like that. But, like, at the end of the day, you had a 10-point lead and you lost the game. And I've seen this going around in the chat. This team has been catered to time after time after time. Superstars added to the roster. And someone said in here, I don't know how much time Shanahan has left with the 49ers, but like, I don't know how true that is because the owner came out like right before the Pro Bowl and said how intact they are and how much they talk. But like they said, you've been getting so many superstars on this team. This roster is absolutely loaded. Obviously, you can say something about the quarterback position, but Brock Purdy didn't throw you out of that game. He didn't lose you that game by any means. Some point in time, you are going to have to get over the hump, no matter who you're facing. You're going to face a great quarterback in the Super Bowl, no matter if it's Mahomes, no matter who it is. So you're going to have to get over that hump. It shouldn't just be brushed over because he lost to Mahomes. You blew a game, you lost by 10 points, or you blew a 10-point lead rather. So.
Hey, and on top of that too, Jeff, to kind of your point, and you did bring up, what was it? They've been in 5 NFC championship games, 2 Super Bowls, correct? And what's the big thing like now?
They've made. Are you talking about the 49ers?
About the 49ers, they made 5 and went to 2 Super Bowls. They've made 2 Super Bowls, and I don't know if it's 5, but they've been to a handful of 4 of the last 5 NFC championship, but whatever it is, it's like to that point, Jeff. And I want you to look at the other side of this as well. It's when you do get to that many times, like, yes, that's very good, and you're a great coach, and you're one of the best in the NFL because you're getting to that level. But at some point, it's like, hey, you are getting there that many times. Why have you not gotten the job done yet with the team that you have? It's like it's similar situation to Buffalo on the other side. It's Buffalo hasn't even gotten there that many times, and Sean McDermott and that team's taken that much heat, but there's no heat going on the 49ers. And it's just because, when they get to the Super Bowl, they've only been twice, and they lose to Patrick Mahomes. But it's like the Bill, like, go ahead. I'm just trying to say,
I have a counter to that for the Bills' point. 1, Sean McDermott sucks. 2,
which is fine.
Josh Allen has run into the same problem Shanahan has ran into. It's Mahomes. He's in the AFC.
But they get but people go at them. But people go at them all the time. But people go at them all the time. So it's just like
I think Shanahan gets flack though.
To me, Shanahan is still one of the best coaches in the NFL. It's just the fact that, hey, if you're gonna be on his what before the game, and you're gonna say like, then at least take accountability when it's done and say, yeah, he did blow another lead. It is what it is. That's what he did. Like I don't care who he went against. I'm tired of hearing that he went against Patrick Mahomes.
That's a fact.
It is a fact, but there's coaches and there's players that went against Tom Brady for years, and they just don't. It's just not like imagine if Shanahan for the next 10 years doesn't win a Super Bowl and keeps losing to Patrick Mahomes. Are you going to say at the end of his career, if he has 0 Super Bowls, oh well, he just went up against
now you're
Patrick
throwing
Mahomes.
around hypotheticals.
You did that with the.
He has no Super Bowls. I'm saying in a
with the Andy
7-year
Reid stuff.
sample size, he's 8-3 in the playoffs, in two Super Bowl appearances, multiple
hasn't
NFC
gotten one yet.
championship appearances, and he's had the disadvantage at quarterback. Like what? I mean, what are we doing?
Like, no one in here is saying he's not one of the best in the NFL too. That's what I'm trying to let you know.
So he's not acting like that.
I just don't get the like
extreme points.
Everybody like something happens like the 49ers lose and everybody's like, you know what, Shanahan, maybe he's just not as good as we thought. Now, how about this? Can I propose something to you? Maybe it was just a really good football game and it was a battle till the end. And guess what? The better quarterback, actually the all-time, historically, arguably the greatest ever quarterback, just came out on top. Does that work? And
it's cool. He could just keep losing. He could just keep losing to a historic
Booner's words in the NFL.
No, he could just keep losing to Patrick Mahomes.
No one
fine.
said
Don't
that.
worry. No, every year. You know what? Go to the Super Bowl. Just keep losing there. You'll be good.
You'll
be good. No, you'll be.
I like this. Who'd you pick to win the game?
The Kansas City Chiefs. Because I thought, because guess what? I'm not one of these people. Stop real quick. I'm not one of these people who was all over Kyle Shanahan before the game, and I was like, oh, he's gonna go beat Andy Reid. He's gonna go beat Patrick. He's gonna end it. No, I wasn't one of those people. I was not one of those people. There are people out there.
Booner, we're all on the same page right now.
Yeah, I don't know why Jeff is trying to.
Jeff's on the same page as all of us.
Why are you trying to?
You're just like. You're like extending. Oh, so if he wins, he doesn't win for 25 years. He's like, yeah, he's one of the greatest. Who said that? He has to win. I agree. But I'm in a way. Did I think? I'll answer it like this. Do I think any less of Shanahan? Nope. I don't.
Yeah.
He's still one of the best in the NFL. We all agree.
Anything
with that
you thought going into yesterday's game.
I don't know. You keep like bringing up these points, and it's like, dude, just like you keep sticking up for him. It's like, dude, just get over it. He blew the lead. It's not at the end of the day. He blew a lead.
So, do you think any less of Shanahan?
No, but he needs to get the job done.
We're good.
Yeah, we're all the same point.
I just, you know what I'm really mad about, and to be honest, I said this before. I'm just really mad. What? You cut out.
I was saying, what now?
No, I'm just saying the reason this triggers me is just because like all the people like last night and this morning who are just all over Kyle Shanahan still, like trying to stick up for him. Like, just stop sticking up for him. He blew a lead. Like, get over it.
Now, you know what? I'll change the conversation. I'll ask you guys this. And in the chat, feel free, because I think the chat will love this. I can't wait to have this conversation. And I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it on X. I've been seeing it on all socials. If the Lions were here, they would have won. What say you guys? If the Lions beat the 49ers, would they be Super Bowl champions?
I don't think you can say that. Like, I mean, because Patrick Mahomes will play up to the level of any team he's playing. Obviously, I think there would have been a lot more offense involved from both sides. I think Mahomes would have been cooking the Lions secondary, and I think the Lions would have had some answers on the offensive end. But to just go out and say that they're automatically would have beat Patrick Mahomes based on a game that they didn't play in is crazy to me. I do think it would have been a more entertaining game, but I can't say for sure that they would have won. And I don't think anyone should be able to say that because you're playing the best quarterback probably ever. So
I don't know if they would have won, to Gentry's point, and especially because this game did go into overtime. I think they lose based off the fact that it was a low-scoring game, but I think if that game got high-scoring, the Lions would have won. Like, whenever it's a low-scoring game against the Chiefs this year, the Chiefs have won. But the Lions, in my opinion, their secondary, it's obviously one of the weakest in the league, but all they would have to worry about really is Travis Kelce, and I think they would have handled him. They would have handled Isaiah Pacheco. So there was a path for him to win, I think. There was a path, but you can't You can't guarantee it, but I think they would have put up a very similar fight because in that third quarter, man, just like when the Lions lose and they get down in the third quarter, the 49ers did the same exact thing, and it was a close game.
Well, they lost the shootout, 17-point lead last round. What happened with that one?
I think the 49ers are a team that can go in there, and they're more built for a shootout this year than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a defensive and running team. If the Lions get into a shootout with the Chiefs, I think they have more ammunition. Again, you have Patrick Mahomes, so that goes well for the Chiefs. But you talk about the Lions' weapons compared to the Chiefs' weapons, especially with how Travis Kelce's been, and even in how he played last night. He was a ghost in the first half. He had one reception. I think he got one at the second quarter when the halftime was about to happen, but he was non-existent out there. I think the Lions, especially the 49ers, lost Dre Greenlaw. I don't think it would have been. I think it would have definitely been a game. I can't guarantee a win, but they had a path to win if they would have been in that game for sure.
Well, the Niners had a path to win.
They did, and that's what I'm saying. The Lions were up 17 on them. So if the 49ers had a chance to win that game, the Lions, I think they easily could have been in that game. But yeah, I'm not going to go in there and say, yeah, Jared Goff would have just went. I know it's not a quarterback thing, but it's at the end of the day, it was Purdy versus Mahomes. Mahomes is a better quarterback. He won. I think you can say the same thing with Goff.
Tell me if I'm off, Booner, and because I'm going to say because I'll give my thoughts, and I'm curious if you think I'm crazy or not. I don't think they would have won. No, I don't. And the reason why is because this team needs more work. Like I saw this. I cannot believe I saw this. And I love Lions fans. I do. But what are we doing? What are we doing? I opened up I was on my phone. I went on X and I saw tweets. The Lions would be winning this game by, whatever. The Lions, this would have been a Lions Super Bowl.
Antonio Brown's tweet.
That was hilarious because
a great tweet, by the way.
Yeah, and that should tell you everything, Lucas. AB agrees with you. You're wrong, and you should know you're wrong. No, they would not have won. Example A, that defense that the Chiefs have, like what they did to the 49ers, absolutely suffocated them. And I think the Lions, it would have slowed down this Lions offense. And we're not even talking about the flip side, right? Like how well the 49ers dominated the line of scrimmage, absolutely dominated on defense against the Chiefs offense. And the Chiefs still came back and won. If the Chiefs were facing the Lions, like, yeah, they got a good run defense. Like, I'll give you that. Like, yeah, they got a good run defense. That secondary would have been picked apart. Patrick Mahomes would have ate this secondary for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and dessert. He would have had a full-course meal with this secondary.
That's what I'm kind of like, yeah, but like which receiver?
Rashee Rice wouldn't have had, what, he had 40 yards? Give him 100. He would have.
Think he has 100?
Travis Kelce, everyone's play elevates facing the Niners secondary. Everybody.
I agree
and you have Mahomes, which he's already, and he's mobile, which that's a whole nother problem. I think the Chiefs would have beat the Lions. Like, I get the excitement, like, hey, the Lions, we had a 17-point lead, so therefore we would have beat the Chiefs just beat pretty decisively the team that stomped you in the regular season, the Ravens. So, like, let's relax here. No, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. But the Lions, like, do I think they would have gotten blown out? No, I wouldn't say that. But no, they would not have beaten the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best team in the NFL right now.
You made some great points there, Juicy J. Made some very good points.
Booner, am I crazy? I go to you.
No, I mean, you're not crazy. I mean, obviously, me, I'm going to say, like, I'm a lion. I'm as you guys want to say, I'm a slappy. So I do think if the Lions went in there with the running backs that they have, I think they would have been able to kind of set the tone a little bit. And I do think the way that the game was going, that the Lions, they could have won that football. I don't think, like, to you saying like they wouldn't have won it, I think that's a little bit crazy. Like, I think they would have had a chance to win that football game and win the Super Bowl. And that's why
I don't think they would have won it. That's my opinion.
Watching that yesterday, I'm a little bit like, man, if they would have made it, they would have had a chance to actually win a Super Bowl. I do think, and kind of where my head goes, like a day later, it felt like it was a defensive game in a kicking game. Like it came down to the defense and the field goals. And that's something the Lions don't really do. So if I'm being completely honest, I think this game would have been completely different. We could say the way the game went, that the Lions would have lost, like what you're saying, Jeff, like the way that this game went and with the Chiefs, how good they've been and they're deep. We could say that, but the way this game actually turned out to where it was the 49ers and the Chiefs, like every single matchup is always going to be different. That matchup ended up being just defense, special teams. And I think if the Lions played the Chiefs and played in this game, I think it would have been a completely different football game. Like I think the Lions defense obviously would have given up a lot of points, but that offense would have also scored points. So I think it would have been a higher scoring game than this game. And I think with the Lions not really having a field goal kicker, you would have seen a lot more fourth down, like going for it on fourth downs, 2-point conversions. So I think the game would have been a lot different. And I do think the Lions could have won that football game the way the Chiefs were playing. And I think with that, like the Chiefs offense, if we're being completely honest, the Chiefs offense isn't as explosive as it has been in the past. So if you're going up against this Lions offense and we're putting up 30 points, that's where I kind of go to where could the Chiefs have stepped up and put up that many points as well without overtime. So I think it would have been a really good football game. I would have leaned towards the Detroit Lions because I think the game would have been a little different than it played out last night. But last night was just so different. It was just a defensive game and a lot of field goals. Shout out Devin, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Devin, by the way, man. That's the guy right there. Yeah, I'm Booner, me and you actually agree. Because of how the game would have played out. Lucas said this too, and Mike even said this. Like we all agree, the game would have been different. It wouldn't have been a 25. What was it, 25-22 type of game?
Yeah,
with all the points in the overtime. Like
it would. Yeah, it would have been higher scoring, which we agree, and that's why I think the room for error would have been significantly smaller for the line. Like they couldn't afford a mistake against the Chiefs. Like I think the Niners. Like there was a point where they could fumble. They made it close because their defense. Like I think this, and it's not even me. Like again, Aiden Hutchinson's a great player. Lee McNeil. Like they got a front seven is good. Like they're a good front seven. But that's secondary.
Nick Bosa out there. Nick Bosa was playing with his head cut off.
Yeah, he
was a menace.
Yeah, he was flying around, man.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'll
point out, like if Nick Bosa's playing like that and Fred Warner was playing the way he was, the Lions can't replicate that defensively. And Mahomes, Mahomes was not sitting in the pocket comfortable all night whatsoever.
No,
Nick Bosa and even Chase Young made their presence felt.
Yeah, Adam was talking about it, and he called it out while we were watching, like all night. Bosa was getting held on like every play. It seemed like that guy, like he was running around with his head cut off. And Chris Jones, obviously, he didn't record a sack, but he was insane. Like it's hard to imagine moving into next year that they don't bring a guy like him back. And he even said it post game that he's looking forward to coming back in the 3-peat and whatnot. But those two were just insane, both crazy defensive performances.
Yeah,
it was a great defensive game. That was fun to. It was fun to watch.
Was. And that's like what I walk. That's why when we had the Kyle Shanahan thing, it's not even like blind. It's just like, guys, can we just accept that was a hell of a game? Like that, anybody could have won that game, and at the end, Mahomes just won it because the dude's so damn good. Like he's Mahomes. And I know people don't like that. They're like, well, no, there's other reasons, right? Like sometimes it just comes down to that. Like it's football, man. Like they went to overtime. Like whether you agree if Shanahan should have taken the ball or deferred it. I mean, and we kind of talked about this too, Boone, a little bit. You can go.
I haven't even talked about that yet. I know you guys already kind of touched on it a little bit. I think it's kind of ridiculous. Like, and this is kind of, I don't want to keep going at Shanahan because but it's going to sound like it. But I don't know if you guys heard some of the press conferences after. Some of the Chiefs players came out and said that this is something that they worked on all season long. They talked about because the rule was changed, not this year, but the year before. So this was technically the second playoffs that this new overtime rules was implemented. And Andy Reid, the player said that Andy Reid literally in the last 2 weeks, they had 2 full meetings within one time a week about the new overtime rules, about how they would execute it, what they would do. They knew exactly what was going on. I know they said Mecole Hardman didn't even know that he won the football game, but they did have meetings like the Chiefs did on the new overtime rules and what they would do. Like these players came out and said that after the game. On the other side, the 49ers, and this is a shot at Shanahan, they didn't know anything. They came out, their players came out and said that they never talked about it once. They didn't prepare for it once. And Jeff, you and I talked, I coached college basketball for a little bit. Like when we were in the NCAA tournament, that was something like every single scenario, whether if it's overtime or, a 2-minute drill, like all these different scenarios, that's something that you have to be aware of. It's even stuff that may never happen Never. You still have to make sure you have plays set. You have things, your players know what the situation is, what's going on. The fact that they didn't have one conversation in regards to overtime rules throughout the whole playoffs, because it could have happened in Detroit. It could have happened in different. I think that's crazy on Kyle Shanahan's part. That's a huge coaching lapse on his end, and not even. And I do disagree a little bit, Lucas, with the deferring and all of that. Neil did today. I was tuning in to Neil, and he did bring up a good point to where if you do kind of receive first, you're basically what you're doing. And I think what did he break it? He broke it down a way to where it was like you're giving Patrick Mahomes the chance to have the ball twice instead of once, which kind of I think it kind of made sense.
Dude. And
I could be wrong, but I can't remember how he broke it down in a good way. I can't remember.
I get it. I get what he's saying. The fact of the matter is when you give Patrick Mahomes the ball in overtime second, you give Patrick Mahomes automatically 4 downs. Patrick Mahomes in 2 downs can kill your team.
So
you give
let
Patrick
me break
Mahomes
this
4 down when they're rolling, because right before that, they went down the field on a 75-yard drive.
So
they
Lucas,
went down the field, man. I'm not saying to you.
Real quick, I'm going to break this down for you. So it makes
Shanahan wanted to do that is because he wanted to get the ball third. You get the ball third and you score. You haven't went down the field yet. Not to mention, that's the other idiotic part about taking it first. You haven't had a touchdown drive in how long? The only touchdown they scored was a Jawan Jennings pass to Christian McCaffrey.
All right.
That is inexcusable in my mind. Yeah. I'm not saying that you, Booner, but
I don't think it's as big of a deal as you're making it, because if you think about it, and this is where it comes down to, if you do take the ball first, you could say you did go score that touchdown, correct? You go score that touchdown. No, I'm just saying this is where his mind's at. Just real quick, if you score the touchdown, then Patrick Mahomes, he has to score a touchdown to stay in the game, and then you get the ball to end the game, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Like, the game's in your hands. On the opposite side, if you defer and you let Patrick Mahomes go score a touchdown, then you have to go score a touchdown. Now you're giving Patrick Mahomes the ball.
He's scoring a touchdown either way. If you give him an extra down, he's guaranteed even more.
I don't think you're getting the concept of them.
I get what you're saying. The thing is, the whole idea, if you're in overtime with Patrick Mahomes, the way you win is you keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. You don't do that by giving him
exactly. But that's why you take the ball, so you don't give him an extra. But that's why you take the ball. That's why you do what you did and defer, because if you scored a touchdown, now he only gets one chance, and now no matter what, you're gonna have the ball to win it, or you get the stop to win it. So but he only gets one chance, and he had. That's what I'm saying.
But that sounds nice, and I'm not. But I just listened to you. That sounds nice, but that goes to feel of the game and what we get upset with Dan Campbell about. And this is exactly what Dan Campbell would have done. People would have criticized him for it, because there's not a feel for the game, man. I'm not saying you, but Kyle Shanahan, you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, and your offense has not went down the field in the whole half. You're not going to do it in one drive when they were all talking. You could hear through the whole game. The 49ers are tired. The 49ers are tired. You can tell that this team is worn down. And now you're putting out a worn-out defense. You just had a 75-yard drive against Patrick Mahomes in 4 downs. That's a recipe for disaster.
I just don't think it's as crazy. I just don't think it's as crazy as people are making it out to be. I think if you're basically, if you would have scored a touchdown, you're either going to get a stop to win the Super Bowl, or you're going to get the ball back to win it with a field goal. So I don't think it's that crazy.
We'll move on here, because Christina,
especially with Patrick Mahomes.
Christina Ramona just became a Crunch member. So thank you for that. We appreciate you a ton.
Out.
I want to move on here and just bring up this discussion, kind of staying on the Lions and the Super Bowl discussion. That's kind of going to be the theme until we get into the live mock draft later in the show, which stick around for that second hour. We'll be doing that. But I want to ask the question, then I'll show kind of a graphic that Booner, you sent me actually, just kind of way too early top teams for next year. The question I have, and we can answer in a little bit, is what do the Lions need to do in order to not make, but win the Super Bowl? What do they need in order to get over the top? And here's this graphic that was, I want to make sure I give credit. Fox NFL, they put this out. And this is the top 10 in their minds. I don't know who made this list specifically, but top 10 teams for 2024. Number 1 and 2, okay. I mean, Kansas City, San Francisco, 2 teams that play in the Super Bowl. They have the Lions at 3, the Green Bay Packers at 4, the Baltimore Ravens at 5, Buffalo Bills at 6, Philadelphia Eagles at 7, Dallas Cowboys at 8, Cleveland Browns at 9, and the Los Angeles Rams at 10. So this is their way too early top 10 before free agency list. what? Real quick, I want to point this out. Freddie Wise, Jeff thought they'd also lose to the Rams. Who? What? I don't know what that. No, I picked the Lions, but regardless,
You picked the Lions.
yeah, I don't know where that came from. But regardless, anything stand out to you guys on this list specifically?
Number 4 and number 9.
Yeah, number 9's egregious. Number 9 pissed me off.
Number 4 makes me mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, to have the Packers over the Ravens,
I just don't see it
next year. That is blasphemous. I mean, that is blasphemous. And then
the
Browns at 9. I mean, Deshaun Watson's coming back, but like, okay.
The Browns just got their wheels broken off by C.J. Stroud in the wild card round. And I understand that Joe Flacco was there, but Joe Flacco was playing them. Deshaun Watson was all year. Deshaun Watson's going to return. I don't think he's going to have any success. Yeah, you get Nick Chubb back. But also just in their division alone, Joe Burrow's coming back. That matters. So their record's not going to be as good because Joe Burrow, I think, is going to be MVP candidate next year. So you're going to leave off the Bengals for one and the Texans, and you're going to throw up the Cleveland Browns after they got obliterated in the wild card. It's egregious, in my opinion.
I would rather have the Texans here over the Browns. I mean, that's just like, what? Because you can make an argument that the Texans are only going to get better. Like the Browns, I don't. Where do they go from here?
I feel like their ceiling is damn near what they were this year. They
I agree.
Defense.
I would take the Texans over the Rams too.
Yeah. Would you guys say the Dolphins in this conversation? Is that a team that's I don't know.
They got to show me some. You got to show me some.
I'm just in my head. In my head, I'm just thinking like the Dolphins with Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. They have a new DC coming in. Like their defense, like I get it, but they were in the playoffs this year, and they like not having them behind the Browns and Rams and even the Packers like that. To me, it's a little.
Yeah. And let's be real here. I mean, even in this comment is so spot on. I want to make sure Wheezy D. It's annoying that we have to rank the Cowboys, even though we know.
Oh yeah,
like you just
have to take them off the list.
You just gotta like it's like one of those memes like bro didn't think we'd see him. Like he's just chilling on this list.
Snuck in there. How'd he get in here?
Yeah, like
Snuck in the back of the VIP and taking shots at Little John.
Yeah, that's
whoa. Who's that a shot at?
Unneeded stray.
Like
that's who did like that, by the way.
everyone's walking into like the VIP section, and one guy's wearing some Levi jeans. No, hey, actually, I like Levi jeans. So don't get me wrong. But like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like the Cowboys don't belong. Like one of these things is not like the other, and it's the Cowboys. But I agree. I think the Packers, Browns are the two most egregious ones to me.
Guys, in our show here, we did the NFC North thing, like who would be the team most likely to compete for the NFC North, and we did put the Packers, like we all agreed on that. Them being at 4, and to be honest, you can even make a conversation. They're at like 9, 10, 11, 12, the Packers. Like, and I get they went out there and they did compete with the 49ers. I'm just saying, it's just like, do we really think they're just like all of a sudden just boom up there like that? Like that's where, and maybe at the back half of the top 10, but at 4 in the top 5 in the NFL, like were they ever even top? How many times this season were they top 10 in the NFL power rankings? Honestly, besides the playoffs.
Yeah. I think they're somewhere in that 7 to 10 range, but putting them in the top 5 is just egregious.
I agree with that.
That is crazy.
I don't hate it because they just let Joe Barry go. And I mean, he was like their Aubrey Pleasant, and he was running at their DC. They would be inside the red zone and running prevent defense and just giving up touchdowns like it was nothing. So I think 4 is crazy, too high. Though. But if they had him at like 5 or 6, I'm not going to hate it because look at the other teams on the list. The Eagles, I think they're going to improve, but you can't guarantee it off of the season they just had. They got bounced in the wild card. Same with the Cowboys. The Browns, we already talked about. The Rams, they so. But, I mean, the Green Bay Packers, they give me a lot of Lions vibes from last year, and that's very true. They're a very young team with a lot of depth on offense. Their defense is shaky, but they're getting a new DC. I think they're going to be a very good team, and the NFC is going to be very similar to this year as far as strength. It's going to be the same teams that are good. I would make an argument that the 49ers and Lions, if we're talking about 2024, you can make an argument to switch those two because we've talked about it all the time. The 49ers ceiling, in my opinion, it's this year and next because they're only going to have a healthy Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey for so long, a healthy Debo, a healthy Kittle. Kittle left the Super Bowl, so that shows you it was a legit injury. I'm not saying he's going to go into next season with it, but the 49ers are only going to be up that high for so long. I feel like we're just putting them up there by default at this point.
It's because they have Kyle Shanahan.
I
And
mean,
Debo's
that is a
never
big
healthy,
reason why you
so
put
I
them
don't
up
think
there by
ever gonna
default.
stay healthy.
He's not lying. You don't like the Packers in the top 10?
I'm just saying I'm not saying I would probably put them, like Gentry said, probably like 8, 9, or 10 personally. But I'm just saying you could have an argument that there are teams like the Bengals or the Dolphins that you can maybe put right there with the Packers. And I get it, but it's one of those things too, Jeff. It's like you kind of want to see it too. Like I get they did do it in the playoffs. Guess who they did it versus? The Cowboys. So like they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. That's the team, and that's the team we just talked down on, that being at even 8. So I just think there's a conversation.
The fuck out of them.
They did, but there's definitely a conversation though, like the Browns, Rams, Packers, Cowboys, Dolphins, like there's Bengals, like there's a conversation for those teams, in my opinion. I think the Packers kind of in that little tier.
I think and Lucas, I can't, because I was trying to load something while you were giving your take. Did you mention the Bengals not being in here?
Yeah.
Okay, I am with you. I think people are just immediately writing off the Bengals. I think next year the Bengals are going to be back in this like top 4
for sure.
race. Like I'll tell you one thing, the next year they're better than the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you put them?
Should
they be 6?
Relax.
I mean,
they're better than the damn fucking Cowboys, Browns.
Let's not. Yeah, come on, Jeff. Come on.
They're better than the Bills.
I think they'll immediately they're in that 7 to 10 range on here too. And I think regarding Joe Burrow's health, like if he was fully healthy, I think they're even lower. But until he comes back out and proves it a little bit, but I still think he's better than the Bears and the Packers, like without a doubt, and the Rams. Like
think about this too. They were 9 and 8 without Joe Burrow. Like Zach Taylor did a good job with the team that did not have their franchise quarterback. So I think a lot of people do kind of underrate Zach Taylor a little bit when it comes to that. And I think you get Burrow back in there with Jamar Chase and those guys. If you somehow bring back what's his name, T. Higgins, like now that's a football team, bro. Like that. They're top 10 easily right now with Joe Burrow back in the lineup. They're 9 and 8 without him. They'll win 12 games with him. Are they better than the Bills? I'm not going to go there and say all that, but I will say that they should be in this conversation. They should be in the top 10.
Etienne's right, man. You watch that 49er, dude. Burrow dotted them up the entire game.
Burrow's so underrated, man.
Yeah, Burrow's that guy.
This year, when he went down, people there. I see someone in the chat. You know who you are.
Oh, easy.
Going at Burrow.
Joe Burrow entered week 1 hurt, and then he got healthy after a month in the season. He's not even healthy. He was just healthier. Then he got hurt again. The Bengals just had a bad season with health.
Wrong team there, Easy.
Yeah. Oh, Bengals. I think he means the Bengals because Higgins is up for a deal, right? And Boyd is also up for
Higgins
a deal.
and Boyd. They're not. I feel like they'll bring back Tyler Boyd over Higgins just for money wise. They both might leave, to be honest.
To be honest, Jamar Chase and all those guys are trying to get T. Higgins back. I don't know if you've seen some of that stuff throughout the offseason and at the end of the season. They want him back. So I don't see them not getting the deal done. I
just feel like he wants to go be wide receiver 1 finally and get like that wide receiver 1 targets. But he could easily come back. But and not saying that he doesn't get a bunch of targets on the Bengals, but I think he wants to go be wide receiver 1 somewhere. And I don't even know if the Bengals want to fork up all the money that he's going to be asking for.
I wonder what his mindset is, because if I'm him, you're a wide receiver 1 at some places, but you're the best wide receiver 2, and you have a chance to go win a Super Bowl and compete every year. If you're a wide receiver 1 somewhere, I'm not saying he's bad, but he's not going to go out there and be a Jamar Chase, in my opinion, to go out there and help a team contend for a Super Bowl as wide receiver 1. That's just how I feel.
Hey,
but he's elite.
This comment too, Sarah, Burrow and Brady, only 2 quarterbacks beat Mahomes in the playoffs. I mean, that's a pretty good list to be on there.
Josh Allen.
It's crazy. Yeah. Wait.
I mean, he beat Josh Allen.
Jeff, did Zach Taylor beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid?
He did.
No, he did. That is the dumbest art. You walked right into a trap.
I'm asking, did he?
Joe Burrow. Thank you for that one.
Got so mad.
What?
He did.
You just walked right into a door. I mean, did you hear what you just said?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan couldn't.
You're making the argument for Zach Taylor when he has Joe Burrow.
I'm just throwing it out there. Kyle Shanahan did it. Zach Taylor did.
I'll take that one, Boone. Appreciate
it. It was a joke.
You just made my argument. I appreciate
it. It was a joke. You guys never get my sarcasm, man.
Oh,
come on, Adam. Tough, man.
No, I love you. Bro.
I just blocked Adam. Try texting me. It won't go through, buddy.
So real quick before we move on, do you have any problem with the Lions being 3? I mean, do you think they should be higher? You mentioned it, Lucas. They put
I don't think they should be higher yet, but I think realistically at the end of the year, I do think the Lions will be the number 2 team in the NFL. I think the Chiefs are going to reload their weapons around Mahomes, so they're without a doubt. I don't think there's a way you take them off of 1, but I think the Lions, they're going to make a serious case to be number 2. I just think the 49ers, I already said it, we're just putting them up there by default. There's going to be a decline eventually. That's
true. They are just up there by default. I think they are 2 now, guys, but like once the offseason, like after it finishes, I think we can revisit this and be like, Lions had a hell of an offseason, which I think they will have, and you probably can make the argument.
Yeah, once free agency hits and the draft and all of that, like you can move them up. And that's the crazy part is that right now they're top 3, and I think you can make an argument they're a lock at top 5 going into next year.
Yeah.
Once the offseason ends and what Brad Holmes has done throughout the past 2-3 years, definitely. Yeah, you guys say that. Like, what are we doing here? Come on. J2 Detroit. This is crazy. No, I think you can make the argument he can move up. They can move up, though.
Yeah, I think they'll eventually be 2, but 3 is fine for now. For sure.
Hey, you do got to think, too, the 49ers, they might lose some guys as well. So it comes down to
Chase Young's a free agent.
Yeah, like there's guys on all these teams in the top 10 who have to still they have to have off seasons as well, and they might lose big pieces.
Now I will bring this one up because it was from our Twitter, which you should be following if you're not already. At official CT Pod, the boys are grinding, and our Instagram. You have Instagram,
right above
that. At official CT Pod, it's all above. Yep, yeah, I totally forget that. Man,
it's close. Lock in, Iafrate.
Here we go though. Philadelphia, speaking of the NFC teams, Philadelphia Eagles All-Pro edge rusher Hassan Reddick has received permission to seek a trade. Could you imagine Reddick on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson? And
AJ Brown's a problem because he's requesting a trade out of Philly. He's the problem.
Oh, here we go.
We had that conversation today, and we've agreed. We
agreed. Hey, pineapple. It's a safe
word. We came to an agreement.
All right. But in terms of Hassan Reddick, a couple things that go into it. One, we've had the discussion, should the Lions, fuck them draft picks, to quote, and maybe be aggressive trying to acquire somebody. But then 2, here's the kicker. He needs a new deal.
Well, here's the thing.
He doesn't
need a new deal. He's on a 1-year deal right now. You trade. He's got 1 year, 14 million. Well, I'm not saying like a lot of people are saying that. He's on a 1-year, $14 million deal. A player like that on a $14 million for 1 year, does that not sound like a Brad Holmes deal to you? Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, let's make it happen. But they just traded DeAndre Swift to the Eagles last offseason. Howie Roseman and Brad Holmes, they have a connection. Yeah. Now, do I think the Eagles will be dumb enough to send Hassan Reddick to Brad Holmes and the Lions? Absolutely not, because Howie Roseman, he knows how that game rolls. When you add a star, it changes the team. He's done it himself many times. But if Howie Roseman, for some reason, is listening to calls, I think Brad Holmes is definitely going to pick up the phone because I don't think the Lions will give him a new deal. The thing is, will he then kind of be like, I'm holding out until you give me a new deal? I think there's a lot of questions to come from it, but just off the base contract and the player that he is, I think the Lions should be interested. I think they will have some realistic interest as well. I don't think it's just a smokescreen.
The only reason I would say no, it doesn't happen is I just don't know how comfortable Brad is with giving up draft capital. And I don't know what I feel like it would take a lot or some a good amount to get Hassan Reddick. I just don't know. We haven't seen that. That's one of the things as well we talk about all the time. We haven't seen Brad step up and make a big trade like that or bring someone in and use draft capital to bring him in. We've seen him move up in drafts. We've seen that. We just haven't seen him kind of go out there and get a guy like Reddick. I don't know. It's weird to me. I would actually, to be honest, I would be shocked if he did it because he his draft capital is what he loves. And I think that's very well known. So I just don't see him doing it, but I mean, I would love it. It depends what we would give up because I like Brad to have those picks, but
it'd be a third if I assume.
I wouldn't hate it.
I would do it
Like,
for that.
obviously for the player he is, but like Booner said, I don't think he's going to trade away draft capital for like an uncertain contract. Like, obviously he's going to have to go in and re-sign him. Like, if it was a guy that's already locked down at like a favorable price, he might go out and do it. But like after you get your 1 year with him, who knows what he's going to be asking for and all of that. So I just don't think so. I think Brad Holmes isn't going to give away his draft picks. That's how he's always said he's going to keep building through the draft. So I hope he signs a player like Hassan Reddick, but I just don't think he goes out and trades for him.
Well, you know what? I'll be on the side of I'm all for it. And I want to read this comment. It says, Jonathan asks, Jeff passed on him, sign Josh Allen for agency. It'll give Hutch some help. He's supposed to get about $24 million, guys. Like
a lot of money, man.
That's where I'm going. Like Brad Holmes said to your guys' face, our plan is to sign and draft our own. Now, no championship team has just been built on draft. Like, obviously, you have to acquire guys and sign guys through free agency.
Eventually.
Like that. Yeah, of course. Like, you just have to do that eventually. I mean, it's just how it works. But Hassan Reddick, 1 more year on his contract. That's the part of it I'm intrigued about. You trade for him. You could negotiate. Now, the whole thing is, will Philadelphia give the Detroit Lions Hassan Reddick? That's the only thing I'm working against, which is fair. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if they would. But if he's on the table, yes, please. You need a proven. He has 50 sacks in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think he had 11 this year or something.
That's not just like, I mean, I get that. And people say, well, he's a poor run defender. Oh, well, good thing he's joining the best run defense.
They have the top 2 run defense. They don't need more help in the run game.
Well, but he's also joining, I don't know, a top 2 run defense here in Detroit. So to have Hassan Reddick, playoff experience, a veteran, he's 29 years old. He's still got good years left in him. He's got 1 more deal left on his contract. You trade for him. You let him play the entire year. And if you don't want to re-sign him, let him walk. You get a guy that has had 50 sacks in the last 4 seasons on a 1-year deal. I don't think he'd be super expensive. I don't know, to come help a Super Bowl chase.
So,
if you're a Lions fan and you think this team can win the Super Bowl, go get Hassan Reddick.
Real quick, Booner, just because it'll be short. He's plain and simple. If you go and get Hassan Reddick, he is the cheapest he's not an all-pro, but cheapest option as far as an elite pass rusher. Daniil Hunter, $25 million. Josh Allen, Brian Burns, all those guys.
Not doing that.
You're paying $14 million for a guy who has more production than all of those guys over the past 4 seasons. Now, I understand he's in Philly with a lot of good players, but he's going to be with a lot of good players in Detroit as well.
All right, so this is where I'm at with this, and I get your guys' points. Like I do agree. Like 14 million, if you can get like a 3rd round, maybe like a 3rd next year or something like that, give it to Philly for it. I would be down for it. I do, but this is exactly what it feels like to me. Do you guys remember the trade deadline when everyone's go get Montez for a 3rd round, go get this? Like, oh, Montez is only on a 1-year deal. This that. It feels like that situation to where, hey, the name's awesome, the production's awesome. It feels really, really good. But we know how Brad Holmes is. We know what he is. And I don't want you, Jeff and Lucas, I don't want you guys, as a friend, I'm going to be a friend here. I don't want you to get all hyped up like, oh, Hassan Reddick. Like, I get where you're coming from. This is kind of the conversation that I had with the heavies when the trade deadline came around. Is I get it. But Jeff, to your point, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you have to bring in players. But guess what? You just had a 17-point lead in the NFC Championship game with your own draft picks. Now I get that. But
David Montgomery.
I get that. You made plays, but at the end of the day, he is going to go out in the free agent. He has a lot of money to spend. Even after he extends some guys, he's going to spend money in free agency. Now I'm with you guys 100% that the $14 million is very cheap for a guy that produces. That is great. So I would love for him to do that. I don't want everyone here in the chat and everyone to be like, get your hopes up, like, oh, Hassan Reddick, like this, because it's the same thing as the Montez Sweat thing, in my opinion. Like, he might not make the move because Brad does what he has a system. And Jeff, I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but what I'm saying is, if Brad goes out there and drafts again and bring some more mid players or some average players in, I think you could still go win a Super Bowl like that. I don't think you have to chase after Hassan Reddick to do it. You just were in the NFC Championship game without doing that. So I get your point a little bit. It's just on the side to where, hey, he has the last 3 years, he has proven that you don't need to go make big splashes to be in those positions, and it's only going to get better and better. Now, if he did that, I would love that. I would love that.
I get what you're saying.
Hold on, just to address.
I'm just trying to think a little logically with Brad here because it's been so hard. It's hard to read him, man.
But instead of trying to read him, which is true, like I want to read him, I'm giving my thoughts on what I think Brad should start doing if you're in an era now, right? If you're a legitimate Super Bowl contender, you have to, and it's not all about trading. Like, you can go sign guys, and it worked for them last year. They made some pretty good signings. Cam Sutton, I mean, it is what it is. I think he'll rebound next year. But like, now you're in a new territory. This is unfamiliar territory for Brad. Like, you're a legit Super Bowl contender. I see what you're saying about the trade deadline, but if that was this year, Booner, I'd be furious if they needed help and they didn't get it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Now you're a Super Bowl contender. Like, that's what you do. And you have a guy who's under contract for a year, making $14 million. That sounds, I could argue, like a Brad move. You're not spending 20 plus on Daniil. You're not spending 20 plus on Josh Allen. You're not spending 20 plus on Justin Matabuke. That does not sound like Brad Holmes. To go spend 20 plus million for 4 years to lock up a guy and potentially lose one of your foundational players you want to extend. Like, that doesn't sound like Brad. This deal sounds like Brad. Like, a 1-year deal, you get him, he comes help you for a year. If it doesn't work out, cool. We chase the Super Bowl, we'll go replace him.
Disagree completely. I think signing a guy for $14 million, besides trading for him, that he has a contract, because
signing a max contract sounds more.
I'm not saying signing a max contract. I'm saying like a David Montgomery, like an average player at that position. Because hear me out real quick. You have to give up a second or a third for. No, seriously, no. Think about this. You have to give up a second or a third. I was saying
the average in David Montgomery part. I was like,
well, I mean, he was $7 million, $6 million. Like, that's average.
I thought you were saying the player, like, he's average.
No. I'm saying is bringing in good players on average deals. Now, doing that with Reddick, you have to give up a second or a third or whatever it is, whatever we agree on. But guess what, Jeff? Guess what? Brad Holmes the last 2 years in the second and third round, he's gone out and got guys that are foundational pieces for the next 4 or 5 seasons. So if you think he's going to give up a 4 to 5 year foundational piece compared to just a 1 year deal. You do, but you keep adding those and building your team.
And you're not going to you bring up the second round picks this year. Go back. Levi, Josh Pascal,
Brian Branch, Sam Laporta.
But you're just going off that.
But I'm just saying, like, you're giving up that opportunity to go out and get a guy that can be a piece on your team for the next 4 years.
But I get a proven guy that's had 50 sacks in 4 years.
But you only get him for 1 year when you're trying to build long-term success.
Let me ask you this, Booner. Let me ask you this.
Do you want long-term success or do you want 1 year? Because
let me ask you this, Booner. Because if we want to be specific about it, the Lions have 2 third-round picks. So would you be willing to sacrifice one of those third-round picks for a guy that can help you chase now? And you can still invest in a guy in the third round where Brad does hit a lot. I mean, he's got Iffy, he's got Hendon, who you can say what you want about, and he's got Kirby Joseph. So he still has that pick in his pocket. So if he's like a third round pick and then a 5th or a 6th or whatever, I think that's a smart option. I think it's something that having that third round pick in his pocket now, they've come out and said numerous times, like, this is the year. We're not building with 2024, like, that's the year. So I'm not guaranteeing it's going to happen, but I think if there was a year that it would happen, it would be this year, and it makes the most sense, and it's a smart move. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it's a move that I think at this point Brad should make.
Again, Jeff, before we keep arguing, I'm going to say this. I do agree. Like, if he did that move, I would love it. Like, I'm with you on that. Like, that would be awesome. We're on the same page. What I'm saying, though, and what kind of I think Gentry's on the same page with me is just like, I don't see Brad doing it because of that fact. That's what I'm trying to say. I just don't see him doing it because of that.
Okay, and I love Brad. Like, Brad's like he is like
he's done this for the last 3 years. I don't see him changing.
I do, actually, because now you're in a Super Bowl window. Like, you got to change.
Yeah, but he just literally came out 2 weeks ago and said he's not going to do that.
You guys actually believe that you're going to win a Super Bowl just by drafting? Like, you have to add, man.
They were 17 points away from going to the Super Bowl.
They added David Montgomery.
I still think they'll still add, but I think he's going to keep his assets and then sign someone.
You did not trade for David Montgomery, too. You signed David
Montgomery. But he's going to trade for a contract that's expiring after this year, and he gets nothing from that. Or he can pick one of his own guys from an already kind of stacked free agent pool and kind of keep building at his own. It's not that he's not going to go out and get the guy. And I wouldn't, just for the record, I would not mind the trade in the third for him, but I just don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to pick from his own player pool or his own player pool and then keep his picks.
I would love for him to get his Hassan Reddick.
That would be Jeff's point. Great. If the Lions want to stay where they're at, it's not like they have to keep doing what they're doing. They reached a point. Now, okay, for one, if we want to be real, you're probably not going to play another Buccaneers in the second round. Their schedule next year is already much tougher than it was this year. The Lions have to keep getting better, and part of that is Brad does. So to Jeff's point, which I agree with, if you want to go win that Super Bowl, you look around the NFL and teams that win Super Bowl. At some point, they go get a monumental trade. It's just how it does. A monumental trade, a monumental signing, they do. The Kansas City Chiefs with Tyrann Mathieu. You can look. They've been dominating. So look at the other teams. The Eagles, A.J. Brown, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams.
I don't think you're arguing this.
Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford. So we're not saying he's going to do it or not. What we're saying is for the line, at least me and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
if the Lions want to take that next step, Brad has to start doing these type of things, in our opinion.
And it's this, and real quick, this isn't about like what I think, Brad. This is my opinion. I'm sharing my opinion. I want Booner, your opinion. Do you think Brad should do this? Not like I don't give it. If Brad doesn't and he does it, let's just say people want free agency additions, right? Tell me who you're getting.
Are you asking?
Yeah.
We just did this the other week.
Danielle Hunter? No.
Jeff,
Not a bouquet. No.
I think we're on
Josh
the same.
Allen?
I think we agree
No.
with each other in
So,
your.
Who are the premier edge? Chase Young? Everyone hated
No,
him at the deadline.
Booner, he doesn't want you to say like what Brad will do. Like, what do you think Brad should do? That's what he's saying.
Say it. Do you think he should
That
go out
makes
and-
sense.
That's what I want.
I don't
Booner
think
to tell me.
he. To be honest, Brad's not going to do that move.
It's not
I'm
about
just
what
gonna
Brad's
say
going
that.
to do.
That's
And I
What
don't
do
think he
you
should. No,
want him to
don't
do?
do it.
Okay,
don't
so you
do
don't
it.
think he should?
I wouldn't mind if he did it. Like I'm not gonna be mad. I'm like we just got Hassan Reddick, but I just think like I'm at the point to where like you guys could say you have to make these moves, but if you're just looking at long term success and you're building a team, and I get at some point he's gonna like that Jeff, don't do that to me. At some point he's gonna make one of those moves. At some point he's
You're
gonna
like,
sign a.
You're over here. You're over here. You're over here.
I'm-
Like which side is?
I'm-
What are you saying?
buddy. Guess what? I'm not over here. I literally
Yeah, you are now.
I literally just said I don't want him to do it. Stop with the like. No, I literally just told you I don't want him to do
So
it.
tell me,
and I
tell
think
me, Booner.
eventually-
Tell me
you
so
what I just told you.
So
What do you want me? No
so
wonder
Booner.
Flannel always yelled at you. Like I'm telling you, and you're not listening.
No,
Clean your
no,
ears out
tell
like
me.
you tell everyone to do, buddy.
Tell me. So this offseason, right? No,
I literally just said I don't want him to go
hold
after
on.
Hassan Reddick.
Hold on. Let me ask the question.
I don't
Screw
know what else
Hassan
to- I don't
Reddick.
know how else to answer it, dude.
No. Screw Hassan Reddick.
I just don't want to give up picks.
No.
That's it.
Hold on. Stay with me, Boone. Screw Hassan Reddick. We don't even need him. What better options present themselves for a 1 year?
We just went over last week. We talked about defensive ends and in free agency. There's a class out there. There's guys. Yes, you might have to spend. You might have to do it.
Oh,
But guess what? I'd rather bring a guy in for 4 or 5 years. I don't have
Who?
the list in front of me.
No, I get what you're
here,
saying.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Jeff, you want me to
I'll
break
help
this down
you.
now?
Danielle
This not,
Hunter?
like, I would take Danielle Hunter.
20+ million for 4 years. You can
Thank
have
you.
him.
Give him to me.
So okay.
I
that's gonna hurt.
I hate doing this.
You want to
conversation
keep
with Jeff.
Panay? You want to keep Amon-Ra? You want to stick around with Jared Goff?
You
Which
can
I
keep
don't know.
all
Would you
of
like to
them.
extend Taylor Decker? He's due next year.
This
We
guy,
can do
Jeff.
this all
Fuck,
day,
dude.
boys. Like,
Oh
come
yeah,
on.
you can. You just don't let anyone have their points. Go
I
ahead.
think he let you
Someone
talk,
else
Booner.
does.
Don't say that. He let you talk. Don't say that now.
At some point, you're gonna like to your point, Jeff. Like, oh, you bring a guy in next year. Guess what? You're gonna have to go inside. You're gonna have to bring a big free agent in or make a big trade at some point. Lucas literally just said that. What are you bringing in Hassan Reddick for 1 year, and then what do you do after that? You need to go out and make it.
He helps you for a year.
And then what do you do after that?
I
do
don't
you
know.
do?
Brad Holmes. He'll figure it out. Hassan will help
This
the
is where
playoffs.
this is
You
where you
think
have
they'll
no
win a
plan
Super
after
Bowl
next year. You
You
have no
think they'll win
plan
a
after
Super Bowl
next year.
next year?
You
Hey,
have
but
you have no plan after next year.
but,
You have no
Booner,
plan.
Booner, you have you know that the whole time because he's on a 1-year deal.
That's why you don't do it. That's
So
why
they
you
should
don't
have
do
signed
He's on
CJ
1
Gardner
year.
Johnson. It's for 1 year.
Like,
They should have never
it. He
signed
didn't
him.
give up any picks for him.
You're right. They should have never
He
signed
did
him.
give a open your ears. He's not
They
giving up.
have picks, Booner.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, why would you give him up for a guy for 1 year, 14?
How
when he's
many
gone
picks?
after
You're
next
acting like
year?
they're giving away all 7 rounds.
Oh
They're
my
giving
That's
God.
away
like
one.
Jalen Ramsey with the Rams, man. There's
Come on.
Gentry, bro, if you want to help me here, Jeff just keeps like saying the same thing and he makes no sense.
Oh, I'm making sense.
No, you're
I'm
not.
making sense.
No,
Yes,
you're
I
not.
am.
Let's
I
just
don't
get a
know
guy-
what you actually believe, to be honest with you.
This
Like,
is
I don't.
bad. This is
So
bad
you
from
don't want
Jeff.
him to, but also you can see him kind of doing it.
Stop
but
trying to
also
say
I
I'm
wouldn't
playing
prefer
both
it.
sides, dude. I literally just said I don't want him to do the deal. Stop with that. You're trying to write a narrative. No wonder Flannel always gets mad at you trying to write a narrative when I'm literally giving you the answer. I literally said I don't want him to do it. I gave you the answer. Do you want me to say any more clear? I do not. No. This is exactly why Flannel would get mad at you. I do not want him to do it. Do you want me to? I do not want him to do it, Jeff. Jeez, no wonder Flannel used to have panic attacks on this show.
All right, mock draft time. All right, but do we agree, Booner? We'll leave it here. Can we kumbaya? Eventually, you said this verbatim. You agreed. He's going to have to, I don't know, make a move. Like,
yeah, I don't want him to give up picks. I don't want to give up picks. Make a move.
You don't want him to give up a single draft pick. Noted.
Use your draft picks. And
hold on. You don't want him to give up a single draft pick. Noted. I disagree vehemently. But I don't want to throw money away for a long-term commitment. You would.
Okay, so we're on the opposite side, dude. We're on the opposite side. You literally just said Booner have an opinion, so I had an opinion and you're mad.
I'm not mad. I just disagree.
You are. You obviously are.
I think there's ways to address the defensive line without like throwing a $20 million contract at some guy. Obviously, you want to get a stud, but it doesn't all like have to be long-term $20 million. And there's no reason that Brad Holmes should switch up from what's working. And he's not going to go reach on a guy or trade for a guy just because it needs to happen. Like he's said it time after time, like this guy has to fit the Lions mold, and he's not just going to throw away picks, what he's been building foundationally just to get a guy for 1 year. Obviously, you've seen it at the deadline this year. He wasn't going to do it. Like I don't think there's any reason for him to switch up. He's just going to keep building and signing guys that he wants to sign, giving out favorable contracts that benefit the team while he continues to build through the draft. So. But like, I'm not saying that I would hate a move like that.
You don't.
I'm just saying that's what he.
I don't see him signing a Danielle Hunter for $25 million. I don't see him signing Josh Allen for $25 million. I don't see him signing Justin Madubuike for $20+ million. To me, from what I've listened from Brad, that's not Brad Holmes. I think Brad, like you said, short term, smart. He could help you. You're not contractually tied to him long term. Like. Hassan Reddick's intriguing to me. You're not sucked. Let's say you sign a Danielle and there's regression or whatever the hell. You're locked in for 4 years, 25+. Like that's just where I'm at. We can disagree. That's okay. I think Brad does what he does and spends wisely. I think this giving up a pick, especially with 1 year left on his deal, I don't think it'd be expensive. That's how I feel. I mean that's just where I'm at. But
I agree.
We can disagree. It's okay. We can disagree. Let's go to mock draft time because we got 40 minutes left. I want to go. Let's do a mock draft. Crunch time mock draft. We can kumbaya, Booner. I love you. We disagree, but I still love you.
Say it back, Booner.
Take back.
Booner.
No, I will later.
Oh my God! You're mad at me now.
I love you.
All right. Whatever. Okay.
I love you. Said I love you.
All right.
I love everyone. I love everyone. ELE.
So let's get this mock draft fired up because I'm actually excited for this. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time we've done a mock draft as a crew.
No trades or no trades.
I love
no trades.
Real quick. I love the chat too. Some people are saying I love you. I love the chat. Love you guys.
Okay, let's put this up here. This is PFF's mock draft. We're doing it live on the show. We're doing it live. We're gonna go through no trades. It takes too long, and maybe we can go slow in the first round, but move on. But what's up, Booner?
I'm gonna say this is my first mock draft I've done all year, so this is gonna be a little.
Me too.
Little. I don't know all these guys yet, and as we go through the season, I'm gonna know a little bit more and be able to. So this is my first one.
All right, let's do it. We'll start here.
Lucas?
Say Jeff, you should drop a beat, DJ Jeff. DJ Iafrate.
Hold on. Don't hold. Let me get a little. Said, man, it's been a while since I've done this. I'm already like,
bro.
This is like our intro. This is like our intro song.
He was loving the Usher halftime show. He's trying to.
Oh, by the way, 10 out of 10, dude.
Of course,
It wasn't bad, but when the minute dude started stripping on stage, I was cool.
Yeah, for guys like us, that's but like the show, dude. That man
loved it, Booner. You loved it.
Oh, I did for sure. It was. I grew up listening to Usher, so I was like, you know.
I love Usher, but people were gassing that shit up like it was the best halftime performance ever. Like the one in LA like 2 years ago or whatever was better.
Well, boys, Caleb Williams goes number one. As no one surprised. You guys know how I feel about Caleb. I'm cool with that. We'll keep it up here. Washington's next. They take Drake May. Okay. Patriots take
Jaden Daniels.
Marvin Harrison
Marvin
Jr.
Harrison. Wow, they should go Jaden Daniels, to be honest.
Malik Neighbors goes to. I actually like that pick. Roma Dunze. They have 3 receivers in the top 5.
That's what
Joe
they
Alt.
should do. I keep seeing Brock Bowers going there, and it doesn't make sense to me.
So we'll get through the top 10 and then we'll recap it.
Jaden Daniels to the Falcons. Wow.
Here, let's get
That'd
through
be
10.
lethal.
Okay, we'll recap.
Cooper DeJean in the top 10. JJ
Oh
McCarthy.
Okay, we got to recap this. Okay, so we have Caleb Williams 1, Drake May 2, Marvin Harrison 3 to the Patriots.
Can I say that's a dumb pick from the Patriots?
Yeah,
Take
this
Jaden
is that's what.
What a
But what
quarterback.
would you do in this situation? That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, maybe honestly, guys, you want to just do the first. Maybe we could probably spend a lot of time on literally just the first round, like maybe the second round. Like
We
have,
probably
like,
do first
30
and
minutes.
second round.
Let's
Kinda
do
talk
that.
about
We don't have
this
to do all
stuff.
7. We could do that another time. But
I say
so
we just go through the Lions picks and fuck all this other shit. I mean,
Yeah, let's just go through and then we'll go back and look after we do all 7.
yeah, because I mean, we don't need to go through all these hypothetical picks for all these other teams. It's gonna be a bunch of random
all
shit.
right, screw it.
Just go like pick the
Go
Lions
Knicks
players
till
and-
12. We can see it as it goes.
There we go. There we go.
All right,
Okay.
so we're on the clock at 29. Michael.
Give me
Penix-
Michael Penix. Yeah. That's funny.
So,
Oh,
Lad
this is easy.
McConkey.
This is easy. Yeah, Lad McConkey. No, but this.
I know exactly who we should pick.
Yeah, no, we're in lots.
He's on the screen right now. Give me Byron
Yep.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Byron
Give me
Murphy,
Byron
agreed.
Murphy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, when you
Yeah,
do it,
Holmes
just
in
filter
there.
it by the positions of need. Kind of just go through like the 4 positions that the Lions need. Obviously, interior offensive
Yeah,
lineman, edge.
Yeah, I
defensive
didn't wanna,
interior, and
like,
that corner.
Chris Jenkins.
No, give me Byron Murphy, dude. I would love Byron Murphy.
Look at corners. Look at corners. Yeah.
So the best corner available would be
TJ Tampa. He's a second round guy.
Yeah, Chris Jenkins. Chop Robinson. Oh, okay. We'll go Byron Murphy.
All right,
Yeah,
just
Byron
select JJ and let's
Wait,
move on.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Check real quick. I would say Powers Johnson was probably gone by then for sure.
JJ.
He'd have been-
I
Oh,
seen him.
JJ went
Oh,
to
cool.
the Giants in the second round. Ha! No, I'm just kidding.
A little
No.
pressure on Daniel Jones, hey?
What do we think here, boys? Corner.
Yes.
So we took Byron Murphy. Yeah, it doesn't save the filter position. So like we'll just
Yeah,
have
just
to do
go
whatever.
to corner. Yeah.
Uh,
it has
corner
to be
and
corner.
offensive line would be nice to see.
Oh,
Mike.
yeah,
Take Mike.
I don't-
Yeah, I'd say would not even Mikey right there.
I
Take
don't
Mike.
I don't like the fit, man. I really don't. You
He
need
did
like an
like
outside
that.
corner.
For edge.
I mean,
who's
I don't
your
always
Jackson?
mind
Slot
Mikey,
guy.
but don't we talk? You need an outside corner, like, and then you get
Yeah,
a guy who's
good
like a
point.
safety slot guy. I mean, it's like
And he's
Did you-
projected to go 72. We got a 73rd pick, so we might be able to wait on him.
Can you put edge and offensive line in there as well?
Yeah, edge.
so. We got Braden Fisk out of Florida State.
Nah.
Isaac Edge, Mikey. I mean, Mikey might be just the best overall player.
Is there
Dwayne
any
Carter, we already got.
Is there any
Bro,
offensive
Rook?
lineman, like a guard?
Hey, Rook. You know he started playing football his junior year of high school.
Oh, Max Melton.
Hey,
He's
there he is.
104 though.
But
He
he's
still has some.
smaller.
Who's our next pick is 61. We could probably
There's two
take Max.
third-round
at
picks coming up.
61.
Can we check offensive line here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, Boone.
Yeah, I said it a couple times. No one heard me. I just
Oh,
kept saying,
I heard you,
Bro.
Boone. I heard
Oh.
you.
thank you, Mike. The chat was like offensive line, and I'm like offensive line.
Kingsley is here from BYU.
We don't need him, Mormon.
I say we wait on a corner and take Mike.
I think we just go Mike, man.
Dude, really?
I know you don't like the fit, but man, best player is going to be on the field.
Dog.
See, this is why. See, like
Oh.
Booner, hypothetically, this pick or Hassan Reddick.
What's the people?
He laughs.
What's the people saying? I'm looking.
Wait,
at
this is second round though. We have to go to the third one. It's either the third round
Hold
or.
on. People in the chat, they said no Mike. I see some Mike. Haynes, I see.
Can you please scroll up?
Kingsley, Yes.
To the very, very top, like the very first player. No, okay. No, I was just I didn't know who it was. I was just looking. I didn't see who it was.
Why don't we take the edge rusher?
Adisa Isaac. I don't.
If we're being real, if this just take, it's like a bunch of you take the best player. You take Sanders still.
Yeah, I think it's best player available. Unless Brad probably has a guy like 10, like all the way down the list.
he probably is going to take like Renardo Green or something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go Mikey. That's who we're going here.
This is interesting already. I don't know if I
So I
might be on Jeff's side.
take a hold.
Oh.
Rome.
So they got Spencer Rattler.
Hey, Rook's an edge.
Yeah, filter it again, Jeff.
Yeah, Rook.
I guess he's not an edge, but he's
Interior.
fucking athletic. So yeah, I guess that
hate doing
sucks.
this. Hold on, let me get that. If Max Melton's there, dude, I still want Max Melton, dude. If he's still there.
Who'll go up? Mingo? Oh, he's an interior. Mingo from LSU is a fucking monster.
Yeah, honestly.
We drafted Byron Murphy though, so I just don't think you get back to back or two.
No, Max Melton's there.
Max Melton, that's the Nick guy.
Yeah.
But this is in the 60s. He might be there. He might be there.
He might be there at 92.
He will be there at 92.
Brad
sure.
doesn't care though. Brad
Go
takes
up.
whoever when he wants them.
Hold on, I'm trying to look at the chat too. I want the chat included, so they kind of like whatever they're
Draft
thinking.
an O lineman. Draft a guard or something.
Yeah, can you filter the old lineman back in there, please? You keep forgetting the big fellas, dude. What's the
Dude,
problem?
I'm doing like 40 things at once. Give me a
Hey,
break.
you
Okay,
didn't
you're
tackle
cooking,
that
Jeff.
guard.
You're cooking.
You didn't
Good
tackle that
job.
guard, Jeff.
What about that Louisville corner?
Christian Mahogany.
Mahogany. Hey, didn't we fuck up his name on the show the other day?
I did. I
Yeah.
said Mahogany or
Oh,
something.
oh,
Oh, dude.
Hey, what about that corner at the top? The corner at the top.
Jarvis Brownlee.
Jarvis Brownlee. Lucas, you know anything about him?
Back-to-back corners.
Yeah.
Although-
Lucas.
Oh, I guess we just did draft Mikey. I forgot. My bad.
So what's the people thinking? Let's get.
Yeah, where we thinking, chat?
What are you
They said
guys
Belfort.
thinking? What position at least? If you don't want to name a player, just go position. Filter to Alabama and Iowa
Good point,
players.
J2.
That's funny.
That's good.
They said they're watching on their phone. I can barely read it. Well, I guess we could do this.
Yeah, there you go.
There. So
Can you scroll slowly?
Vincent says guard, so we're doing
Jesus.
guard. Yep.
so we're
Chip
taking
God
guard.
says
We're taking
guard.
Christian
Let's take
Mahogany.
Mahogany. Let's take Christian
Yeah.
Mahogany.
Take him.
I like
him.
it. I like that. We
Okay,
talked
we're
about
going
him
with
last
Mahogany.
week a bit
If
as well.
Max Melton's there, we're taking him this pick.
I agree. I will take
Johnny
him too.
Wilson's a dog.
I think
Max
we're going
Melton.
Melton.
Bang!
Just take
Give
him.
him
Get
the
out.
Yeah.
I like this draft so far, fellas.
Yeah, that's a good
I
draft,
like
boys.
this draft. As long as these are Brad guys, I kind of like this draft. We talked about Mahogany.
Now a receiver. Now let's go get a playmaker.
Oh, I agree. I like that.
Okay.
Jeez, we're
Alright.
far down there.
I see
man.
Braylon
Holy
Allen just
shit.
went. I like Braylon Allen, the running back out of what is that, Wisconsin? He plays that.
Hey,
All right.
Braden McGregor 2 picks ago.
Tommy Eichenberg.
Oh,
Bring him
McGregor.
home. Tommy Eichenberg. That's a
Ew.
Dan guy for sure.
Joe
Joe
Milton.
Milt.
Oh my gosh. Keep
So we're
scrolling.
looking
Rip.
for. We got a
Go
guard.
up.
What do we have? A defensive lineman, 2 corners, and a guard.
Go look at wide receivers for shits and giggles.
We need an edge rusher too. We need an edge rusher.
Who's Mohammed the dog?
We need an edge rusher, boys.
You would.
Bruce.
There is always a guy. Edge. There's Brennan Jackson, Cedric
Jackson.
Johnson. Jalen Harrell.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either, Boone.
I don't hate that. I don't want to go all Michigan here. but-
Hey, what do we
Kickers?
think?
Kickers?
Moose Muhammad. That is a good ass name.
I like the Jalen Harrell, but
Hey,
kicker?
I don't think we've drafted an edge yet.
We haven't.
We've drafted Byron Murphy into here. I just saw someone in the chat said we have.
Yeah, because in reality they trade one of those picks for Hassan Reddick.
Shut up.
Is that
So they-
Bama kicker still available?
the Bam.
Oh wait, go up real quick. Wait, who's that? Oh, that was a Tennessee. I thought that was a Texas wide receiver. Never mind.
Should we
Oh,
just
yeah,
do
Jalen
special
Harrell.
teams? Let's look at kicker. Oh, he's 280.
Yeah,
man.
there he is.
That's
can
our
get him
last
Let's
pick.
get him at 207.
That's our
That's
last pick right there.
Trade up for him.
What are
I say we get
they-
an edge.
Do
I say we
Jalen
get
Harrell.
Brennan Jackson.
Yeah, Jalen Harrell's an
Jalen
edge.
Harrell. Oh yeah, let's go Jalen Harrell. Oh, I love that. Just too many Michigan guys, but that's fine. People are gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, Michigan.
But it's just
fan
like-
base.
dude, he's just a good football player.
Trevor
like, I
Keegan
mean-
just went.
They won the Natty. Like they're gonna have a lot of players.
Frank
drafted.
Gore Jr. just went.
Oh, Frank Gore Jr.
Steelers.
So what are we thinking, boys? For what is this? The 6th round pick. You got 3
Kicker.
remaining
Go get a kicker.
right now.
Yeah.
All right,
Another
You
offensive
need to
lineman.
get out of there.
280. You're taking them now.
Yep. Take him and get out of there.
What's the how do the I want to wait for the people to respond. They're saying kicker. I'll let the people. They want the kicker.
Kicker.
Yeah, are we thinking kicker
Bama's
right here,
kicker's
guys?
a dog, dude. Bama's kicker's a dog.
Yeah, we're going Will. A white dude named Will.
Hold on. Shout out, Ron.
Hey, well,
All right,
that's
we
why
got another
there's a man who
kicker.
gets
Draft
paid to do
kicker.
this.
Draft the Bama guy. This
All
is
right.
our first run. Like we're gonna get like
Yeah, this is
we're gonna
mock,
learn a
this is
lot of
crunch
these
time mock
names.
draft 1.0. This is
Yeah,
1.0.
we're gonna have like 30. And by the way, should we have not? Let's wait. Actually, so we might see.
Yeah, I mean, we could take like a tackle, I guess. I mean, I don't know what we think. Center, Kingsley. Oh, wait, like who are these?
Let's go find the.
Let's get a
Holy
receiver.
Boys all of this draft.
Let's get a weapon.
You want a receiver?
Yeah.
Let's see what they got here. Oh, they got Hayden.
Out of Idaho. Bring him home.
This guy is he? I don't want to like sleep on him. I don't. Hayden
Looks like a
Head.
route runner.
Who?
Why is there only one receiver left in this whole draft?
Because we passed on
Might-
McCauley.
There's
Yeah,
got to be more
honestly.
receivers here. Why is
Someone
it
just said they like the Oregon center / guard. Is he there? I thought I saw
That's
somebody.
Powers Johnson.
Oh,
Oh, they're talking about he's gonna
Pick
go.
up. Hey, Cal Holiday.
No.
Spartans there.
Yeah, that guy.
there's literally only one receiver left in this whole draft.
Yeah.
It can't be real.
No, it's like the guys
If-
that they
if-
have
if-
on here.
If that's
Let me
real,
see
I'm
this more.
gonna enter the draft. I'll get drafted. They need
I
receivers.
mean, it's about really
I don't
what
know.
position.
I think they'll take a kicker, Boone. Every kicker would fly off the board. Every
Man.
Power 5 kicker that's eligible.
I don't know what you guys want to do here. I
Yeah, I
say
don't know.
maybe we just get,
Honestly, it
like,
might
Kingsley,
Yeah, just take like
a center.
someone who could play. Oh my God, he's awful. Everything's just terribly graded. Okay, let's not go with Kingsley, bro. Maybe Carter Bradley, Brian. We already took an edge. We don't need an edge.
Ooh.
Nathaniel Watson.
Put some respect on his name.
I mean, at this point, who gives a damn? Why do we do 7 rounds? Shit,
Yeah, I mean, this is
Yeah,
just
you're the one that
eventually we're gonna
organized this. Charles
learn these
Turner?
guys. But
yeah, F it. We'll go Charles.
yeah, let's
Turner.
trade. Let's make a trade.
Really?
Try and trade for Hassan Reddick.
Oh, no, but Booner, these picks. You can't trade picks.
There's not even a trade on the table.
Booner, you
Yeah.
can't trade picks, man.
Jeff, this is your pick, man. You pick.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with the legendary, Gabe Hall. I think I'm gonna go Gabe Hall. I don't. I guess I don't.
Mark Barry.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go.
Mark Barry.
What even is
Lucas, you're the guy that I refer to.
Legend.
Eric Gentry.
Oh, take him.
Oh, that's gotta
Take
be the
him.
pick.
Hey, bro,
yeah.
that's literally my brother's name. That is not my brother. Literally.
we just took Mike's
What
brother.
What a mock draft 1.0.
What
We
a
gotta
dog,
post this.
bro.
What a mock
Jalen Harrell
draft
was an
1.0.
F, man.
I
Wow.
think I like this though.
This was the first round. Here, let me download these. Hold on. Let me get these. Let me get this off the screen.
Yeah, download the other one so we can post it on our socials too.
Drop what you guys would grade this draft as well.
I don't really want to
I'm
see that
interested.
right now.
I'm
To be honest
interested.
with you. That might be a butt cheek grade, man. Honestly.
Eric Gentry really sealed that off, though. I think that
That-
was the cherry on top of it all.
I know a dog when I see one.
He said, "I know a dog when I see one." Let's see the first round
but that's
first.
exactly
Elgato,
why,
terrible
boys.
draft.
Brad needs to trade in this draft. Now, I'm not saying trade away a pick for sure, but he's got to move up at some point, whether it's the first, second, or third round.
So look at the first. So this is how it went. The first handful of picks.
Jesus.
Cooper
If
DeJean
Jaden
went in the
Daniels
top
slid
10.
past
Top 10.
5.
Cooper DeJean at 9 is crazy. That him jumping to the top 10 is nuts.
Yeah, that is. He went to he was. Yeah, I mean, you'd think like one of the at least like the Patriots would consider a quarterback, but they take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I
The
think
Giants too. The Giants don't take a quarterback.
Early on, my thoughts in the top 3, I think it's going to be 3 quarterbacks back to back, in my opinion.
Do you think
That-
JJ McCarthy's the second quarterback taken?
No, I think it goes Caleb Williams, Drake May, and then Jaden Daniels, or Jaden Daniels, Drake May. I have a feeling that the top 3, there's some teams that really need quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, it's facts.
So we had Cooper DeJean 9, a couple tackles went in the
Bo
first.
Nix at 12.
Bo Nix at 12 is egregious.
That's
Nate
crazy.
Wiggins 13th. I mean, yeah, Jared Verse, he went 14th. Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon!
Hey, Terrion Arnold. I'm watching a lot of stuff about him. He's getting gassed up a lot too. But a lot of the kids,
they said he's
Kool-Aid possibly.
I literally saw a video the other day that said that he is the best corner out of Bama. Better, he's going to be better than Kool-Aid. I just watched that video.
Yeah, he's a dog. Here, Latu out of UCLA goes 17 to the Jags.
Dallas Turner at 18 is crystal meth thinking.
That would be a guy you trade up for to try and get.
You trade up in the top 10 to get.
Yeah, you trade up to get him. Or Kool-Aid, he goes 19th. Here's the Jackson Powers Johnson. He goes 20th. That's a great pick by the Steelers. If that's actually a thing, that's a great pick.
Real quick, with the Steelers, I heard today that they might be looking for Justin Fields.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That Mike Tomlin loves Justin Fields, so that'd be kind of crazy. I think that'd be good for him.
Let's see, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I mean Newton, Trice.
Braylon Trice would be a nice pick. If Braylon Trice falls to the Lions, I hope they take him. He's a dog.
Yeah, there's some good play. I mean, the Lions. I think we definitely took the best player available.
I'm shocked by Murphy though. I thought isn't he projected way before us, or am I off on that? I would love Byron Murphy.
As of right now, if he tests well, he could rise.
Let me put up our draft and we can react to that. Here we go. And PFF gave us a whopping
F.
Hold on.
I can't see it.
I know. Hold on.
B
minus.
Hey, there we go.
Our Jalen Harrell pick was an F.
That's tough.
But Eric Gentry was a C+.
Yeah,
I told you, dog.
Mikey is a B-.
Max Melton B-.
Yeah, Mikey, we did take much higher than he probably will be going. He might be like a 3rd round pick, maybe late second. I don't know. He might creep up more. Because guys,
he was on a national championship defense will definitely help him.
And also Lucas, we haven't even gotten to the combine.
Yeah.
Which those guys could smoke the combine.
I did not realize that. I heard that on the Pat McAfee show today, and they didn't even know. They're like, we're taking a break for 2 weeks. And Shefty was like, you're not going to be here for the combine. It's in like where you guys are. And they were like, combine's in 2 weeks? They had no clue.
Hey, it'd be like that. Our only
it'd be like that.
I mean, it'd be like that. We'll be. We're got a busy couple weeks, even though the Super Bowl just happened. So, hey, off season ain't really an off season. But Jalen Harrell giving an F. That's kind of crazy. I mean, hey, Will got a better grade than Jalen.
It's probably just because where he's at in the big board. That'd be. I don't know.
Yeah, because what do they project him? 6th, 7th round?
Yeah, it says 197, and we got him at 166. So, I mean. Yeah,
I don't think that's really.
But he wouldn't have probably been there at 207, so it's a good pick on our end. Fuck him.
Yeah. Let him know, Gentry.
Hey, should we do a mock draft where we pick or trade for Hassan Reddick, or should we just move straight to mailbag? But we could test out a draft doing that.
I think we should do it. I would like to see this.
Yeah.
And I would like to draft a wide receiver too.
I'm dying.
All right, let's run it back.
McConkey?
All right, let's run it back. Hey, just do like 4 rounds or 5 rounds.
Yeah, just do 4.
Don't do the whole thing.
Let me get it all.
A kicker.
I'll do 4 rounds.
My shoulder working out today. Collarbone's clicking like crazy.
Ooh. All right, here we go. We'll do a scenario where we hold up. Let me get everything else situated here before we get started. We're gonna do but for people listening, we're hypothetically trading for Hassan Reddick. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I don't know if PFF how it's gonna like measure out. I don't know what they're gonna ask for, but we'll see. Let's do it.
Just take like a 7th round pick from them. They won't show up in the draft.
All right, let's do this thing. Put this up. Okay. So What pick do they have? Oh, they
I
have
love you, Easy. I don't know why he said he loves me, but I love him.
You just do like a next year draft pick.
A third round, yeah. Just give him a third round for the 2025. I would like to see.
Give them a what would you say
Third round. Give him 6
for 2025 or this year?
No,
25.
give them 60, 73, whatever.
See if
And
they,
take it 25 from them.
Oh, it's going to be like a
No.
third, maybe like a third and a fourth,
and take
Yeah.
one from
and then take like a what from them, like a seventh.
6.
Yeah, that's
29.
fine. That's fine.
It's not going to. It says a
It's not gonna be
29%.
accepted. Just do a 7th from next year.
Okay.
Offer it. See what happens.
I should be a GM.
Bang!
Oh,
We got Hassan Reddick.
We got him for, I mean, essentially a third round and a fourth round pick, fourth being next year, and we get a 7th back, and we get Hassan Reddick. Is that a W or an L? Like,
I don't know,
People,
dude.
people
Again,
put that in the chat. What do you
third
guys
and a
think?
fourth.
W or L?
A Brad Holmes third and a fourth is a
Now
little.
let's finish the
they
draft.
get
and then
a
you
fourth
can-
next year from the DeAndre Swift deal with Philly.
Yeah.
Ah.
I say we take it and move on, just like Adrian
Yeah.
said.
we
Start
move
that
Shout out.
draft.
Start the draft. We got Hassan on the roster. Think about that.
Think about that.
Hey, like Lucas says, just play Hassan Reddick highlights.
Yeah. What you
That's a
do.
bar, actually. I actually am going to use that.
Hey, we got 2 L's in the chat. They don't like it.
Gave up too much.
Hey, I never
Fuck
take
them
L,
picks.
Gentry. Just take. Just that's all it is lessons. You know what
That's
I mean?
fair.
We're just learning lessons. That's all it is. All right, 29. Michael Penning. Every round we do this every time. Wow. Michael-
Go to guards real quick.
yeah, you seem
yeah,
you
nothing,
seem like a
yeah.
Christian Haynes kind of guy. That's
No.
what you seem.
No.
He might be good
Man.
actually. I don't even know.
This would be a Lake and Tomlinson ass pick. Do not do that.
No, I'm not. Tackle. Take a Tyler
Edge.
Guyton.
Tyler Guyton's nice.
Jordan
though. We
Morgan?
don't need a tackle.
Who's available at edge? Edge and interior.
Chris Braswell. I mean, he's not.
Chop.
Chop.
I don't know.
He had a
Interior.
big year this year too. Jonah Ellis, Darius Robinson, Chop. I mean, Justin,
Mohamed Kamara.
Justin, he had a pretty good year too. Mohamed Kamara. Oh yeah, you did mention that. You're like, this dude's a beast.
Hey, if he's there in the second round, that's who we take. That's
Braden
a Brad
McGregor. Yeah, these guys are all. I mean, you're looking at the top. You're looking at like a Chris Braswell.
Hey, see
I
what
like.
wide receivers are there. See if Keon Coleman's there.
He is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God, I would. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'd be mad if they took Keon Coleman.
So would I.
Someone said trade the
Well-
first round pick, get more picks. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, but we could trade it. I like Chris Braswell, to be honest. I think he's a good pick. Now, if we're taking an edge, but other than that, I might just trade this thing.
Trade back. Trade out.
Yeah,
Don't
if
hate
we're
it,
not
actually.
taking Chris Braswell, I'm trading.
Let's
out.
get in our bag real quick. Let's get in our Brad Holmes bag.
That's
So we have an
not
offer to
like that.
move back to pick
38.
38. So we can do 29, and we'll get like a future.
106. Give us 38 and 106. 38 and 106. No,
Oh, you
no
want
future.
2 picks this year? Okay. You
Yeah,
want to move
38, 106, and a future 4. Yep. How do we like that chat real quick before? How do we like that chat?
Can we get a 3? I might try and get a 3.
How do we like that chat?
Oh! I got to get a 3 from him.
Booner, Lucas,
Hey,
Brad.
Let's go, boys.
And so
I wanna be a
we got a third rounder next year to replace the 4th rounder we traded, and we
We're
moved
cooking
back
right
and got
now.
more assets.
We're cooking right now.
So here we go. They can take. Look, they took Lad McConkey. Good luck with him. We'll
Hey.
get.
Keon Coleman. Do it.
Hey.
Chris Jenkins.
Chris
Chris
Jenkins?
Jenkins.
Yeah,
Chris
get him.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Chris
Yeah,
Jenkins,
Chris
do it.
Jenkins, dog.
I like what we're doing so far, boys. I like how we're building this team right now.
JJ goes to Atlanta. I
He's
always have to
going
keep
late.
track.
He is going to win.
Jonathan Brooks, shout out. Devondre Sweat. Oh, no. We missed Devondre Sweat by 2 picks.
Oh, that.
That's
Oh,
I
we
would-
just got Chris Jenkins, though. We're good.
Junior Colson.
Oh, Mike is there. Oh, we can't go back-to-back Michigan guys, fellas.
No. Yeah, no
Just
way.
out of respect. Let's get an edge. Can we get an edge? A corner or an edge?
Let's see. We got
I like Isaac.
Justin. This dude had a big year for Alabama, but like he was.
Why don't we
year.
go get out of Penn State?
Austin Booker.
Check O line.
How do we feel about him?
Yeah, he's not bad.
Check corners too. Yeah. Check corners real quick.
I'm having a blast, boys.
Yeah, we got Kalen Carson. I'm not familiar with his game.
I like Isaac out of Penn State. Easy just put it in there too. Like
he likes Isaac.
I feel like we talked about him last week on the show. I could be wrong, but maybe Nick.
All right, we'll go with Easy. We trust you. We're going with Isaac. We trust my guy there. All right,
we have to go offensive line now. Or
yeah, you're right.
Or receiver, maybe receiver.
No, I like offensive line.
Yeah.
Or corner.
O line.
We only have we only have 2 picks left, boys.
So it's corner O line because this is only a 4-rounder I did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do the whole 7, so we're gonna have to get a corner or a interior offensive lineman.
I see Georgia there. Oh, Max
Melton again.
Yeah,
Kalen King.
I heard he was getting cooked at Senior Bowl, dude.
Was he?
Yeah. Max Melton this guy lives on the legend of shutting down Marvin Harrison, bro. I mean,
I like that. That's a Nick. Shout out Nick. Take him.
Max Melton or Kalen King? Let the chat decide. Kalen King or Max Melton? Those are the 2 options. Who are we going with? Max Melton or Kalen King? What do you guys think? I mean, Kalen King was getting a lot of love before the season, too. He was. So we got 1 Max.
I see a lot of wide receivers.
Max.
You got Max in there. You got more Maxes. Yeah, I see a lot of
wide receiver.
Let's do Max.
Yeah,
we're going with Max Melton. The chat has decided. People have spoken. We'll go with Max Melton. Last pick, guys. I think we're going with Will. Kicker on Bucky Irving.
Bucky!
We think an interior offensive lineman?
Toyota Tundra we did not get.
Zach
Zinter. Let's get him.
Yeah, you got to take Zach Zinter.
What a draft, boys. We got some draft capital. We got Hassan Reddick, and we got Max Melton.
Shout out to Toyota Tundra. He says, I'm late. Did you guys get Devondre Sweat? No, we were 2 picks shy of getting him, but thank you for the $2. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
What a name, too. Shout out to Toyota Tundra.
Hey, Lad McConkey is a Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, I agree with that. I saw actually.
Hold on. Don't give it away. We'll let me.
I'm saying in real life, he's a Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, I saw a mock draft today of him going first round to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So I'm gonna put this on screen. This is our final. This is our. You know what? We'll do our crunch time mock draft 1.0. 1.0. There it is. Let me put this off screen here so you guys can see.
I can't believe we did this.
Give us a grade. How do we do? And this is a scenario trading for Hassan Reddick. So we got Hassan Reddick. We traded back, acquired more capital, and I think we had a pretty good draft overall. I like the picks.
We gave up 3 picks and gained. We basically gained 1 extra pick in Hassan Reddick.
And we took an injured player. So Brad Holmes, we're kind of acting like Brad. We took Zach Zinter.
That's true. It's true.
We're kind of doing the Brad special here.
I kind of like what Eduardo just said, or Travis just said. Oh, wrong one.
He is right, though. And we got some, you got Chris Jenkins. I like it. I like Chris Jenkins.
Especially at 38.
Easy says B- for Max in the 3rd round is crazy. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, the PFF stuff is all. I mean, you got Zach Zinter.
PFF is woke sports, keep in mind.
Yeah.
You got Zach Zinter in the 4th.
I think this is actually. How happy? Because this is obviously you still have 3 more rounds. I think.
Yeah, this is only a 4-round draft.
I think this is great for 4 rounds. To be honest, like if the Lions ended with this, I think I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, I would too.
More pieces.
in terms of positions, like they draft the defensive line, they invest heavy in the defensive line. Like if I'm being real, if I could go back, I wouldn't because we have to assume like they're probably going to sign a corner also. So you have Max Melton, they sign a corner.
Yep.
Chris
and
Jenkins.
you have Isaac, you have Hassan Reddick now, and you're going to probably have to get another edge rusher in free agency as well. And you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. Don't hate the idea of this, guys.
Cool. I like it. I think we did a good job, boys.
This is definitely better than the first one.
Yeah. We can
Yeah,
post
sure.
this one on our socials. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna that was fun. I mean, hey, I was kind of with you, Booner.
We didn't walk out of there with a kicker though.
I have not.
Well, we still have. There's still 3 more rounds of picks,
Yeah, we would have scooped up a kicker.
so we could have got a kicker in the.
Gentry.
We
Just a
probably
bunch of
still could have got the
dogs.
Bama kid in the 5th round, 6th round.
Yeah,
You
the
see
first
Missouri
one,
kicker?
the first one we can just burn. To be honest,
Have
I
you
don't
seen
know.
the Missouri kicker though?
No, I haven't. I just see the Bama one.
Dude's got a belly on him. He's got a Booner build.
I like that. I like that.
No, he'll stay warm in Green Bay when he's got to make a kick in Lambeau. Be out there sleeveless.
yeah, that man. Probably do like 10 more of these later. I don't even know what it gets addicting.
It does, and you know what? Too, doing mock drafts, like Lucas, I said it actually. And what's crazy is when I was at my other job, we had the event, the Snoop Dogg thing, and all of that. And someone came up to me, might be watching the show, and was like, and gave Lucas a ton of props. So Lucas is the biggest ball knower in the state of Michigan. I'm not like the thing is I'm not like Lucas
Just
though.
gassed him up.
I did, yeah. Well, I just remembered. It just popped in my head. That someone out of nowhere came up to me and was like, I love the show, but Lucas, I love him, man. He's a ball knower for real. But I'm not like a ball knower like that. I'm still learning. I'm sure some of you guys are too. But doing these mock drafts, especially during mock draft season, to get to know some of these guys, by the time the draft comes up, I know everyone. I remember last year, it was like you just know everyone after it. So this was 1.0.
Yeah, I love draft time. I just for all leagues like NBA, NFL. It's really my favorite time of year because it's just interesting. Like the draft's exciting, man. Like
Because we've been in Detroit.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You ain't lying.
Like if you're in Kansas City or like like Boston fans, they probably have no clue what mock drafts are.
Like Chiefs fans are like, oh, Rashee Rice, cool, probably good. And
No,
he's good.
they're tuned in this year because they know they're getting a receiver.
Yeah.
And they're just going off a Super Bowl.
Did we do mailbag here?
Yeah, let's get into mailbag. There's some questions coming in, so we'll answer them. Eduardo's starting us off. Mailbag draft question from last year. Knowing what we know now, if at 6 Anderson was there, do you grab him over Gibbs? And if you do that, who do you grab at 18? Gibbs or Laporta? Yes. First question, undoubtedly yes. Will Anderson over Gibbs. I mean, he is like just because but that's me though. That's just my preference. Everyone might have a different preference.
Yeah.
And who do you grab at 18? Gibbs or Laporta?
Ooh.
Tough, dude.
I'm grabbing Laporta.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Jeff.
Sorry. That's just
Oh,
how
I don't know.
I
Fuck.
kind of like just having Gibbs and Laporta over Will Anderson. Like if you would say you can have those two or Will Anderson, obviously, like if you had to pick those
That's
two,
the Dan Campbell guy, though.
Yeah, Will Anderson's a dog.
he is. Yeah, he doesn't. He
I
has
would
no
definitely go
issue
Will Anderson at
whatsoever. Like,
6.
it's a
yeah,
tough
at
one,
6.
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know. I might go Gibbs at 18 for real.
I love
I'm
Gibbs,
going
dude.
Laporta. You can. I don't want to go there. See, this could get.
We had this conversation last night. Let's just wait for a couple of years. This is a conversation to have in 3
Lions
years.
fans are gonna hate me if I were to just finish.
This is a
that
conversation to
sentence.
have in 3
Wait,
years.
what were you gonna say?
No.
We'll save that for tomorrow.
Lucas, we'll talk off air. This is a conversation for 3 years down the road, not even tomorrow. This is like a 3-year conversation.
And by the way,
That's fair.
I'm happy. Like they listen, but again, you guys, if you guys have been following me, you know how I feel about.
You're an angry dude, man. You're like an old man.
Oh, he doesn't want Gibbs after. He doesn't want to re-sign him.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. To me, I'm like, I question it a little.
All right. Next question.
Just know Jeff isn't always right.
I'm right like 95% of the time, so it's not.
No, like 60.
ET,
Good hit
the
rate.
majority. ETN mailbag. Which of these Super Bowl losers has the best chance of getting back? Bengals, Eagles, or 49ers? Ooh, okay.
I would say
What do you guys think?
49ers next year.
Yeah,
49ers?
49ers, but I think the Bengals and Eagles will both be up there contending for their divisions. I think
Give
the
me the
Bengals have a
Bengals.
really good year and they're kind of slept on. And Jalen Hurts is going to bounce back. I've been saying that all last week.
Joe Burr.
Joe Burr.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need. Whichever team he's on, I give it
Hey,
to him.
Why weren't the Bills in that question, ETN? Come on, man. Give me the
Oh, you know why?
the Buffalo
Because
Bills.
we're going to lose to the Chiefs and the Bengals before that point, Booner.
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. Give them to me, man.
Yeah, playoff bounces.
Jeez.
That's
The
a-
same with
that's
the
a really good
49ers.
point.
They get bounced every year, too.
They at least make the Super Bowl. The Bengals at least make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the
Yeah, but-
Bills
but
have
the
made
Bills
one
go
NFC,
up
or AFC, excuse me.
To your
championship.
guys' points, the point, I mean, the Bills have to go up against Patrick Mahomes just like the
but when Joe
49ers.
Burrow does it, he wins. Oh, that's the difference in the AFC Championship game. In
I'm
Burrow,
not going
right?
against Joe Burrow. I'm with you on the Burrow thing. I'll let you have that. The 49ers, though. Bills.
Better than Josh Allen.
Oh, so you'll excuse Joe Burrow, but you'll Brock Purdy. Just win, Shanahan. Just win. I mean, God, you are something else.
Oh,
You're
man. I love you fellas, man.
I know. I love you guys too, man. All right, Chef Talks. Mailbag. Who do you fear in the NFC next season, and why should you slap yourself if you answer it isn't nobody?
Fear? Like,
Yeah, I don't know
fear?
about fear.
I don't know if I fear. I think
I
we're at the
wouldn't
point as
fear.
Lions fans, to be honest. I think all three of you guys will agree with me. I said this at the beginning of the year when we started actually like getting good, and you could tell that this team was good when I started the Booner path. We need to start having that confidence of being like a Chiefs, like a team that's like every year we're dominating you. We're the best in the conference. And I think if you guys disagree with me, I don't see that, but you guys disagree with me because I feel like Lions could be the best team in the NFC going into next season. And I get the 49, but like we should all have that confidence. We should all have that confidence.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Well
Boom.
spoken, Booner.
Thank you.
It hits.
I'm
Mailbag.
turning into a former Patriots fan. Like I want to be a little bit of a arrogant, like Philly fans are. That's what I'm going to be like this next year.
It hips. Who's the first
Can't
player the Lions resign once free agency opens?
CJ Gardner-Johnson. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Did you guys
I'm
see
gonna
he's coming back?
He's been saying that.
Yeah. I'll go Graham Glasgow.
I like Graham too.
Oh,
Give me someone
Graham-
weird, like
Graham
reasonable.
Glasgow.
Germ.
Graham Glasgow.
Yeah,
I would-
that's what I would say. It's gonna be Germ.
Just bring the whole squad back and let's add a couple pieces. We'll be good. Let's run it back, baby.
Mr. Detroit City Mailbag. How high exactly are you each stream, Lucas?
Depends on the day. Depends on the day. Usually, if I'm coming from working out, I'm usually not high.
Yeah,
Yes,
the guys.
that's fair.
Dude, don't question the ball nor man.
Hey,
Guy gets it done. He's on time and he spits. That's all
there's
that
a
matters.
process for the ball knower knowledge to be condensed.
Travis. He says, Mailbag, how do you guys think we would have done if it was us in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs? Okay,
Lombardi
Travis-
Trophy.
Booner just switched up completely.
Yeah, you literally just
Jeff was about to say we
completely-
talked about this earlier, but
Booner Path, baby.
and he did not say that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No, I was pretty fair. I said they could win the game, but it wouldn't have been.
They
You-
could
Hey,
win the game.
That's what I said earlier, and you didn't have a problem
Well,
with
guess
it.
what?
Because
the
now you're
Lions
saying
back.
you just said they'd be holding the Lombardi.
Give it to me, man.
we're back here again.
That's
Next question.
I
Mr.
don't-
Detroit City, are you wearing pants? I have pants on. Fellas.
He's in his
Jonah
box.
says, how come no one talks about the BMG path?
Guys,
That's the Red Wings path.
telling you, Red Wings
Path
going
is
to-
trademark.
they're winning a playoff series this year.
Oh God, man.
I heard Chris
Phil
was trying
says,
to make a
good night,
Pistons
fellas.
path.
Good show. Thanks in the chat. Appreciate you,
Shout
Phil.
out,
Thank
Phil,
you, man.
man.
You've been
Phil.
tuning in consistently, Phil, and supporting us, and for that, we're
You.
forever grateful. So thank you.
The
The Ronan
Italian path.
99 Mailbag. Will Brad trade up or down? I think I said this. I said up.
I think he's trading up.
I want him to trade up, but I think he trades down. Does that make sense?
Honestly, both could. I don't know, man.
That's why I've been in like I would love for
Either
him to
way,
trade up
it's
and get a
smart.
dog, but I
Yeah.
think he might end up trading back.
Will he stay put? We all agree. No.
No.
Okay, that's fair. Then we are in lockstep. Oh God.
That's fair.
Hey,
Hey,
you know
come
what?
on, Elgato. The
step
last
up. We'll
one
step
wasn't
it
that
up.
bad. The
You win
last
some, you
one
lose
wasn't
some.
that bad.
Constructive criticism, boys. I read the
We'll step it
I read the comments from the last show, and everyone kept saying, Booner, you need constructive criticism. Elgato will take that. We'll run with it. We'll get better.
We'll
Look
get
at you,
better.
Will.
Exactly, Booner. We'll step it
Just
up.
like
Look at
Dan
you, Booner.
Campbell.
Look at you. So proud.
Thanks, boys.
Look,
Thanks, boys.
Phil closes off with the Italian path. He is right. He is right, boys. And from you know what's funny? It's ironic. I got the Tony Montana Scarface shirt. Hold on, I gotta get my. I got my Tony
Put the
Montana.
tattoo
Right.
up.
I mean,
Hold on.
come on,
Tony
dude.
Montana.
Come on. I don't know what.
Put the
I'm not,
tattoo up.
no, I'm not doing that.
Put the tattoo up. Put the
Come
tattoo,
on.
you coward.
You coward.
All right, hey.
Booner. Mullet Booner?
Oh, I was told not to do it anymore.
No, do it.
we
By
need-
who?
I want to do it. Don't worry, fellas.
Yeah, Boone. Yeah, Boone. Hey, it's getting that Theo Von
Yeah,
form.
yeah. Jesus, man. All right.
It's getting that
I love
Theo
it,
Von
boys.
form.
I have to make the decision on cutting it more and like trimming it up or just letting it go. That
Just let
that
it
comes
go.
probably a Saturday haircut.
Didn't see the goat.
Yeah, Vince, man, everybody, Phil, Chef, Elgato, Steve, everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you, Aaron. Until
Appreciate
tomorrow, we'll be back
No,
tomorrow. We'll have a pack show planned again. Every Monday, we'll be doing Mock Draft Monday. So stick around for that. You can follow us on the socials all above us. If you're listening, it's at Official CT Pod.
Yes, sir.
Have a great rest of your night, guys.
Love you guys.
Have a great day at work tomorrow. And we'll catch you tomorrow,
Shout
8
out.
p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll have clips scheduled all throughout the day here on Crunch Time. Until then,
Shout out.
deuces.
Peace. Love you guys.